Hello, hello. I hope we can be heard and everybody sounds all right. So it's first and foremost sound check.
Sound
Hello,
check. You guys hear us okay?
we are doing what's the buzz tonight, and we are going to see how much angel footage we can tolerate. So it's
I
gonna
like
be
I like that. Have you
uh,
ever seen an angel
no.
or something that you would have identified as an angel?
You know what? Let me tell you about something that happened when I was a kid. Um, I don't remember if it was. I think it was my brother lost a tooth, and there was and they put it in the way that my family did was you put it under a cup on the table. You didn't put it under your pillow. It was like an Irish tradition to do it that way.
Okay,
But
makes it easier.
yeah, so they do that on the dining room table, and we were sitting there. He'd done that, and we were all the whole family was sitting in the living room, and there was this bright flash of light from the dining room, and we went in there, and there was the money, and there was no tooth, and it was like
Hmm.
whoa. And then turns out my dad had rigged up like a flashlight on a lazy Susan
Yeah,
to spin
I was just
around.
about to ask. I've done that to like little kids. So what is it? Food coloring is not a big thing in Korea. I've had to really try to find food coloring. So I'll
Hmm.
get a lemon lime soda, like a Sprite or something, a big one. And then I put the food coloring in the cap, but they don't know. And so I put the cap on real quick. So I'm talking to them. I got a podium, right? And I tell them that we're going to do some special Halloween magic. And if they say these certain words, like abracadabra or whatever, it's gonna change into a magical witch potion or something. So as I'm talking, like I open it and I'm putting like the stuff in there because if you put it too early, it's gonna start dripping in. And so then they say the magic words as I invert the drink, and then it turns into like red or purple or something, and the students lose their minds over it. And so I give them their drink, and they enjoy it, and then I ask them about, is this magic? And some of them say yeah, some of them say no. And so I tell them what it is. Like I don't want them to leave thinking we performed a magical
Hmm.
ritual in the classroom.
You have
It's
some
coloring
grumpy
kids.
parents.
Yeah, or just this idea. Like I don't want them thinking, as they get older. Well, I saw something really magical really did happen. I have an unexplained thing that could have happened, and then somebody could ask, well, wouldn't it have just been easier to explain with food coloring or something? No, we were watching her the whole time. She didn't do any of that. Yeah, I was. You're watching me the whole time, but you didn't see everything, little kids.
Yeah,
I always want to make sure they know we're not really performing magic, but
that's like sleight of hands kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
fun. It's fun. Little kids are very easy to fool, but I don't like working with them
Yeah.
anymore.
Did you have a negative experience with some little kids?
Yeah, they existed. I'm just
They,
not a fan of children. I know
yeah.
it sounds weird being a teacher, but I prefer the teenagers for
Young
that.
adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're at that age where they're curious about the world. They want to challenge ideas. They're very open to learning about new things and challenging traditions, and asking a lot of questions. But they also understand a lot of the answers. Whereas little kids, very imaginative, lots of questions, don't really understand what's going on. And adults stop asking questions. So I didn't like working with either of those groups. Teenagers, I really really have a heart for teens. Yeah.
Yeah. You can help them like develop at an important point in their life too, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
nice.
So do people in Korea have supernatural beliefs like angels and ghosts and stuff?
The last I checked, like it's 49% atheist, but of those, there are people that still have old beliefs that are more tied to like traditional medicine.
Hmm.
It's not everybody, and these ideas are falling out of favor just because science. But I had a coworker who had tried to explain to me that I don't know why he was so open about this, but he had bought seal penis to improve his penis. And I asked him, well, what's the mechanism for that to work? And he got very upset, like he got very offended. And he's like, Korean people aren't stupid. I said, I didn't say that. I was just asking you, Like, what is it in the tissue that you are consuming that in some way affects some part of your body that controls the size and strength of your penis? You know, I just, and he had no idea, and eventually came to me later on. He was really honest about it, at least. Came to me later on to explain that it didn't. He found out it didn't work. He was really into these like superstitious beliefs, though. We had the previous president, the female president, Park Geun-hye, who got impeached.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me about being buried next to water means that your generation, like your descendants are going to be cursed. So you don't want to bury somebody next to water, which, you know, my culture, we bury people at sea. So it's a little different. It's very different, like the cultures, right? So he was telling me, and I was asking him to explain that. And he said, well, look at Park Geun-hye and look what happened to her. So her father's something, and he was trying to make this descendants thing. And I said, how is this even possible? Like, is it, you know, what about the DNA? And he's like, oh yeah, that's it, the DNA.
What's
Okay,
the
but
mechanisms?
how? Right. And so I said, let's just assume that you're correct, that because he was talking about somebody else, like Park Geun-hye's parents, but the mother had done something and was buried near something, so the father was cursed. And I said, they're not genetically related. So you're even your own explanation, this still doesn't make sense. And well, again, he leaves, comes back the next day and says, I think you're right. Okay, well, cool. But he was just such a weird guy. He was very adamant holding his beliefs, and then as soon as he would check into them, they just disappeared. So that's interesting. But otherwise, yeah, most people don't hold these beliefs. There's been a rise in like ghost movies in Korea that have to do either with exorcisms, like the Catholic exorcisms, which, you know, I know religion isn't bound by like culture, right? You can be any religion and any culture, any combination. But it is kind of weird to see a Korean priest, like the actor, relying on Latin to dispel a demon. I mean, I guess it is weird anyway, like for an English speaker who is, you know, relying on Latin.
What is it about Latin anyway? Because like it's not so. The Bible would have been in, at least the one Jesus read would have been like Aramaic, right? Or the one
Well, yeah, I
Jesus
mean, he
would
wouldn't
preach
have.
from.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have even had the Bible. That's the thing. The stuff that he would have, the stuff that he would have had access to would have been written in Hebrew. You know, so if anything, Hebrew is that special language. And there's the gematria. Do you know what the gematria is?
No, I don't.
So it's this idea that that letters have a number associated with it, and those numbers are special. But the reason for that is because Hebrew, the characters in Hebrew do have that special association. They do have like a dual meaning, whereas stuff in English doesn't. So there's a lot of people on the more extreme right end that will try to use gematria for English, but it doesn't work. It only works in Hebrew, but they don't know that because they don't actually know what they're talking about. Surprise. So
Is this in any way related to Bible code and all that kind of?
it is, and there's people that actually say that Michael Jackson tried to he was going against the secret satanic cabal because he was trying to tell us that we need to use gematria because of his song ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. So see, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3.
Simple.
Yeah, so right. That's it. So
Yes.
oh, Aunt Jer asked, is fan death a supernatural belief or just a superstition? That is a fantastic question. No pun intended. I actually did a video on it, and I gotta reopen that video. So for those of you guys that don't know, fan death is a superstition in South Korea only, that there is a belief if you turn on a fan but keep the door and windows closed, you die. And I've asked multiple times, so how do you die? From people that believe it. People that are in my generation, which is like Gen X and older, those are the people that typically will believe in it. My students, I've never met a student that believes in it, but they have grandparents who believe in it. But I've heard anything from hypothermia to the fan will fall on somebody and chop them up, which any of us that played with a fan when we were children, you open the thing and you put your finger in and it doesn't get chopped up, that the fan will chop up the particles of the oxygen. So it'll, do nuclear fission. It's a pretty cheap,
I would have assumed it would
there.
have been suffocation. Would have been my speculation.
Yeah, that's another one. If the fan is on your face, you can't breathe. And I'm like, any of us who remember singing into the fan, we know that you
Darth
can totally
Vader voice.
My robot voice, you can breathe just fine. The other one is that the fan sucks the air out of the room. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's not a sucking motion, right? But it goes back in the room. And I try to explain, like, these are not airtight seals, like that's why when something's going on outside, like somebody's smoking right outside of your door, you can smell it because it's not an airtight seal. So why do you think the oxygen can't get in? The hypothermia one, because that's the one usually the older adults that I've taught, they'll talk about that. And I said, well, have you ever been in a situation where it's really like so hot in the summer, you got the fan on and you're like in your underwear sweating and just like, in front of the fan? And they say, yes. I said, okay, then you're nowhere near cold enough to have hypothermia. Hypothermia is like, I'm in Russia in the winter and I fell into a river. Then I'll get hypothermia. If you're not that cold, you are at absolutely no risk of hypothermia, I promise. But some people will say, well, the news reports on it, but how? What's the mechanism of death? Did they die from asphyxiation or what? What usually will happen is like an elderly person gets drunk, passes out, and they die. And it's in the summer, so a fan is on in the room. And if you already believe in fan death, then you show up on the scene as the reporter and you're like, oh, another case of fan death. What a poor old man, so.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think, because in the summer, pretty much anybody's going to have a fan on, and then everybody has a fan on. It's like correlation and causation, right?
Yeah. There's another fear of like air conditioner air being poisonous. So especially when I was teaching in the rural area, this was so frustrating. I was teaching in a public school. The school was pretty old. So for it to finally have the room heat up, because that heater was just ancient, finally the room is heated up a little bit. We can maybe unzip our jackets a little bit. It's so cold in there. And you'd get these teachers coming in and like, oh my God, the windows are closed, and they open up all the windows and let out all the heat. And I'm just like, why would you do that? It took hours for this to finally warm up a little bit. Oh, because there's bad air in the heater. And it's the opposite in the summer. We would have these really big bees. I don't know if they were hornets or what, and they would fly into these open windows, and I had to keep shutting them and turning on the air con. And again, this air conditioning was really old. It took a while for it to really work. And finally, when it cooled down just a little bit, another teacher would come in. Oh my God, you can't keep the windows shut. The air conditioner has toxic air. And I would just ask, if that's what you think, then why is it here? Why do you have an air conditioner at all if you think it's going to poison the children? Like, what's? It's like, oh, okay, we can't have them drinking chlorine, but I'm just putting chlorine in their cups. Oh, but don't drink it. Well, then why are you giving it to them? But that's this old belief that these are like bad air. So it's really frustrating because you're just trying to make sense of it. Like, isn't this a waste of money then? Like a waste of electricity? Why do we even have this on if it's going to be ineffective? Isn't there a better way? Can we get a space heater? Is that better? Or fans? Or I don't know, something. So yeah, thankfully a lot of people, just as they've been traveling, because Koreans couldn't really freely travel until the 90s. You couldn't just be granted like a passport to just travel for no reason, like just for fun. So as people are now traveling more freely, they're realizing that this is only Korea having this belief. So these are now seen as something like really outdated, silly superstitions. We don't believe that. We're more science minded. So that's how like a lot of the younger kids feel. But
well, we used to be. now you got people in our culture wanting to claim things like lead paint weren't really bad. It was just they wanted to be able to radiate us, and lead paint was stopping the radiation from being able to get to us. That's really a conspiracy theory I've uncovered recently.
That is wonderful. I'm gonna let you keep talking. One of my cats is like shredding the door, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go take care of your kitty. We probably need to jump into these angels here once you get back, because that's what we're talking about tonight. And thank you everybody for showing up. I know we've been kind of going on about some local superstitions and stuff, but that's going to come into play with this stuff as we move forward. So you'll start to pick up on some cultural bias as we move through what's captured here and what people interpret about it. Are you ready for some angels?
Let's do it. Yes, real angels caught on camera, which is great. Yes. I'm so glad that since we have this technology, we've been able to like catch more angels and not fewer.
Yes. Yeah, here we go. And we're going to go to the full screen mode. We have a couple of shorts that our Miss Lemon has provided for us. So thank you for that. Let's see what we're working with here. He's pointing up there.
I hope yeah.
Guy pops up.
That's it.
I'm almost 100% sure this is special effects.
James, you dork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely special effects. If you hear which you don't have to turn on the sound for it. There's people screaming as they're looking into the sky.
Could you not hear the sound?
I couldn't. No.
I think we did this last time. I shared this with you.
That's all right.
Let me reshare again and see if it'll let me select the share the sound, because no.
That's okay.
Yeah,
take your time.
We can do it this way.
No, look at the trees. Asked a question about the burial mounds in South Korea. So these are more of that ancestral kind of remembrance. So you show up and there's this, every family has a day that they kind of honor their dead ancestors. And that day is different for every family. It's called the Jaesa. And so they come together and they'll go visit the mound. They also visit the mounds at different times of the year, such as the holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday, Chuseok, the harvest holiday, and sometimes on the Lunar New Year. So you go to the mounds and you present food, and for the Jaesa, you also have like a table you set for them. And the belief is that they eat the spirit of the food, not the food itself, and then you can enjoy the food too. So in that way, you're sharing food with your ancestors. So I guess that would be a supernatural belief, but not a religious belief, because there's not necessarily a god involved. Yeah,
that does sound similar to like a Day of the Dead sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Do you want to see angels on the moon?
Ooh, angel on the moon.
Yes, moon angels. Look, there's zooming in on the moon.
That's it, guys. That's it. That's the angel on the moon. See?
Wow, it's
zoom in. Now, first of all, yeah, totally amazing camera.
Yeah, the camera.
Like what camera phone? Look at that. And my favorite part is how the moon it's got its, well, actually I'm kind of reversed in here, but you can see how the moon is partially full and then it's flipped over. So I guess they went to the other Earth and got the other angle. And then they zoomed in, and yeah I don't know what that's an angel.
The shadow flips.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
From one side to the other. But it is the same video. It's the same video.
Yeah, it's the same video.
Okay.
Do you think they do that on purpose, just so that anybody who's paying slight attention will know it's a joke?
Maybe what I'd like to think is that they flipped the video for to keep the Illuminati off their back, probably.
Maybe that's what happened. Because otherwise they would flag the video as too real.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right, we got a couple more.
What I really like about that angel is like there's nothing that says it's an angel.
It's just
even if it was real, it's some shiny stuff above the surface of the moon. What part of that says it's an angel? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, it could be. Why isn't it an alien? Why wouldn't you say it's an alien? Why isn't it
The ISS. I don't know.
why isn't it Dalai Lama? I don't,
Right.
what makes it an angel? Some of these
That's
angels
why.
are also, I found when I was looking for videos for this, I found a lot of these would have the same video marked as a Jesus sighting and an angel sighting, just
Yeah,
separately. Yeah.
because Jesus is an angel, historically.
Biblically.
That's it. Yeah, he's a biblical angel.
There we go.
Oh, great.
You want to see some angels flying around. There's one popping through the clouds. Yeah,
That's it.
there he is. That's not the light hitting different areas of the clouds. Now that was
This
pretty
one,
cool.
yeah. I mean, I don't,
I think that was
because
Superman.
it's not supposed to be. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be slowed down. It's like in real time, but obviously it is slowed down. It's very
Yeah.
strange. And I would move
mean-
the cart too, or not the cart, the stroller. So what do you guys
Yeah.
think of this? You think it's
Yeah.
real?
I want to go see the guy with the cart one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's,
okay, cool.
So that was, I think this is that the last short. No, we have one more short, and then I have a few longer videos, like 15 angels caught on camera and things like that we're gonna watch. So one more, and this one's kind of narrated. So let me share this one, and you will tell me what you think about this. Okay? Here we go.
Check out the video I pinned in the comments. Hit the subscribe button
Is
if
he-
you love Jesus.
Can you
That's
hear
my
him?
favorite. An angel caught on camera.
Not gonna win
Watch
this
closely. All right,
Oh
ready?
shoot! Sorry.
That's it. And then it's just done.
closely. You won't miss this.
And I mean, sometimes I wonder if that's. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. It's
I
just
like the music in the background too.
Yeah.
Who is that? Enya?
yeah.
Remember
There's someone screaming. I do kind of wish I get jealous of people who believe this stuff though, because I wish that I could be just as.
Subscribe button if you love
Oh no!
Jesus.
Play the video
Rod
again,
Stewart
please.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let me see the angel again here. I'm gonna pause
There
it.
it is. So we're watching. Yeah. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's just that
So-
little
Jetstream
whip.
thing.
Yeah. So it's like, how come it's not, chemtrails? Why is it an angel?
Yeah. Maybe it's a chemtrail
Chemtrails
angel.
are wild out here. I guess that's my conspiracy guy voice. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? It sounds like he's what would he do? He'd probably be in favor of watch the Hulk, or Hulk Hogan, I mean. Oh, the Hulkster.
Yeah, the Hulkster.
That was Jesus Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I mean, who was that supposed to be? Bree, you saw my Jesuses that I
Yeah,
shared.
I
My
wish
Jesus are much better.
I may
Yeah.
share your Jesuses at the end of the stream if you'll let
No,
me.
please, yeah,
They're the
absolutely.
prettiest Jesuses that you will see. Jesus
Thank you.
eye.
Yeah, I think Jesuses would be acceptable since it's we're speaking English.
Yeah.
What would it be? G-sodes for Greek, right?
Yeah.
Christos?
It'd be Jesus odes.
Sodes. I want a video of an angel with a flaming sword guarding Eden. I just want a video of Eden, like that. We can start there.
I had a
Show
whole
us-
video where I looked at a few different places to try to find where Eden was, and it was nowhere to be found.
Oh, shock!
Yeah, we looked the whole globe over.
The whole
Unfortunate.
flat plate.
Yeah,
the
the whole endless plane. I don't want to be biased, right?
Yeah.
All
that's
right.
not-
So, are you ready for this one's the
of encounter.
This one's the one that has 15 guardian angels caught on camera, and some of these are gonna have like feel good stories about little kids and stuff attached.
Is
to
it
them,
that guy who does the top 15? He goes like number 15. Is it
No,
that
this
guy?
this is
Okay.
not chills.
That guy's voice. I don't know. It's. Can you want to punch a voice?
My youngest son loves him. My youngest son Grayson. He does the voice so well and talks about Burger King foot lettuce.
Yeah,
and-
Burger King food lettuce.
All right, it's angel time. Let's do it.
With guardian angels have continued to be heard, In contrast, some reports state that these angels appear to deliver essential messages, while others claim that they seem to offer helping hands to those who need it. With these claims, many still
there's
doubt
another
the
one.
existence of guardian angels. So join us as we have a look at 15 guardian angels experiences caught on camera. Number 15. Mom claims son captured his guardian angel. Carrie Listless, the mother to 7-year-old Asher, shares the experience of how her son had captured the photograph of a mysterious being he had sighted.
There we are. So this is
All
the
right.
photograph.
This is one that I did see.
Yeah, I
So I just wasn't sure what it was other than just pareidolia, like my Jesus in the background. This was
yeah.
like a door or something. I look back as if I'm going to see it. There's a green screen here. There's not a Jesus back here.
Jesus is not really behind.
He's not. No, he's in my heart.
Yeah.
He's always here. He's always here.
Is
But
he
yeah, I guess
congesting it?
that's all I could think is like pareidolia. It's just
Yeah.
weird looking. Maybe a cloud with some kind of moisture in the what's it called? The windows. They're double paned.
Yeah, you breathe on the window when you're on the
Yeah.
airplane.
So it could be something like
Yeah.
that, or maybe Asher. What's his name? Asher. Maybe
Asher, yeah.
Asher's got some kind of AI art thing that they that he ran this through, right? So
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch his whole little video because I don't want
it's a
to
long video. Yeah.
crap on his heartfelt story either that they put together. Because
It's not even a heartfelt story. It's just Asher likes to take photos. He was taking a photo out
Yeah.
the window, and then Mom was like, "All right, well," it is kind of funny because Mom's like, "He's so good at taking photos." So anyway, it took my phone back, and I was just like, delete. Oh, wait a minute, something's here. Like, okay, so is he a really good photographer, or is it just delete?
right. Yeah,
But
way
yeah,
out a little
Mom
bit.
had found something there. So yeah, we got Sage Ohio saying it's condensation. Anything else that this could be? Just like a
Yeah,
blur.
there's a lot of things that it could be clouds. I mean, really weird clouds, but it could be clouds. But yeah, I'm thinking condensation on the window.
Right. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
reflection of the room. Okay, this is on an airplane, by the way. I know that wasn't stated. So it's on an airplane. This was supposed to be during takeoff. So this is from a clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question though that I'm always left with is, okay, let's assume that this is something supernatural. Why do we assume that it's an angel? Why isn't this a demon that's going to be like, somebody on the airplane is getting cancer today? Why is it not something good? What if it's an alien? What if these are like giants from like Jotunheim or something? Why does it?
It is a frost giant on the window.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's up in the sky, water, cold, frost giant.
Yeah.
Frost giant.
We've solved it.
It's
Let's
a
move on to
Chinese
the next
weather
one.
balloon.
Chinese weather balloon.
Oh,
Aunt Jer
man.
figured it out.
That's it, Aunt Jer. We got to shoot it down. Can you imagine that? Like an angel, like a UFO or something, like comes to Earth, and we just shoot it down. It's like, oh, it's a Chinese flying balloon. It's like really like connection, from another civilization.
It's Chinese. It's a communist spy balloon.
It's a plane gremlin. Yes, that's also a possibility.
Yeah. What do we got next here? Let's have a look.
Other day, a motion sensor camera positioned around East Jordan took a quick shot of what appeared to be the image of an
Motion sensor cameras are famous for their excellent resolution and high quality photographs.
My favorite part is, let's go back like half a second. So the motion sensor camera is
that seemed like any other day. A motion sensor
pause it
camera
here.
positioned.
So where are we looking at? We're looking at the forest, right? I don't know why. Maybe we're just having.
I don't even think.
Maybe we're worried about bears, But then go to the next one. It's like an angel in the blue, where no security camera is pointed.
Yeah,
Why would you have a security camera pointing at the sky?
This is like not even the footage they're talking about, right? This is just
Right,
stock
right.
footage of a security camera.
But why would you
Positioned around
security camera
East-
pointed at the sky?
Yeah, let's see this other one.
Jordan
I don't. You
took a
can't even
quick
tell
shot.
what it's pointed at. What is it? That's a security camera. Is that? It looks like clouds to me, with like maybe in front of the sun with a really bad resolution.
Yeah, or the gay agenda because of the rainbow.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
it's gay no matter what.
That's true.
Probably
Angels are gay. They're all men.
It's the gayest angel.
It is, because he's like this, girl. but that's always so for Halloween. Sometimes I like to throw in some. We got these like long classes, right? So sometimes I throw in just stupid videos for the students, especially if we finish early. And during Halloween time, we like to look at scary videos, right? And some of the students, they're really scared. And so we talk through the videos, and I say, all right, first of all, my question is, why were they filming? So sometimes you'll see a person who's just in the forest pointing their camera at a tree, and then a gremlin comes out of the tree or something.
Something peeks around the
corner. Or they're
yeah.
like in the bathroom pooping, and then they've got their video camera on, pointed at the ceiling, and then a ghost face will stick down through the ceiling, right? Why are you like, who poops like this, notices a ghost, and then still continues to poop, and then takes out, I guess you'd be, pooping yourself.
Yeah,
so
you probably vacate the bowels just fine.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? Like, why? So if we have this, if they're trying to say it's like a motion sensor, motion detector, security camera, why is it pointed at the sky? Not just the sky, but like the clear blue sky. So that means it's pointed way up above the tree line and all this other stuff. For what purpose?
Invaders from above, I had to protect from UFOs. Maybe they were really worried about it, or maybe for this purpose. Maybe they were protecting themselves from angels.
That's it. It's like that movie Nope. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were trying to catch an alien, but instead we caught an angel.
Out of what appeared to be the image of an angel floating in the air. You can see a figure that resembles a head and wings, depending on how you interpret it.
Wait, is this
depending on how you interpret it. Thank you, whoever, a narrator.
This looks like a freaking dove more than an angel.
That's what I thought, yeah.
A dove with a big fluff, like one of the fancy ones with the big floofy tails.
Yeah, exactly.
However, only some believe in the angel story. For example, the camera's owner seems to have a different opinion of the figure, as he claimed that it looked like a moth. Whether the image was a...
Sorry, what kind of moth was that? That was like a Hercules looking moth.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big moth. I think this is way up in the sky in clouds, but it's hard to say when they just give us this little square of, because maybe this is a tiny fragment of the whole picture. I can't.
That's true.
Imagine that they could, like you said, that they'd just be pointed randomly at the sky. But bugs on low resolution cameras, bugs do with some weird stuff. So
yeah, the rods. I'm probably sure you're familiar with those.
Oh yeah, the rods.
Oh yeah.
And I've had a lot of fairies on doorbell cams is mostly what I see anymore, which is bugs on the low resolution doorbell cams.
Sign from the heavens, or just one of the numerous optical illusions that people experience, residents who found it say that their prayers had been answered. One person recounted that it was an angel and that they were...
See, they keep showing two different images, though. This isn't the same angel.
I guess they're catching a lot of angels from that security footage. But what prayer was answered? Dear God, please let some skeptical people that have security cameras catch an ambiguous image. Was that the prayer? Because nailed it. You know what I mean? Like, is that the prayer? Look at this guy. He looks like he's ready to cry. Like he's so moved by this, which is sad, but also, come on, guy.
Yeah, the dove cloud. That's not an angel cloud. That's a dove cloud. But doesn't mean it's bad luck. Doves mean what? Peace, right?
Were left in awe and couldn't wait to send the pictures of it to his wife and daughter. He had an angel on his camera, and he was happy about it.
Oh, that's what the whole picture looks like. That changes things a little bit.
Different. What is this?
And this does make me think it's a moth. This one does.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a moth or a mothman.
Or a Mothman.
It was crystal clear the moment that I saw the photo, explained Pastor Danielle Mose.
Explain Pastor.
Pastor.
I freaked out a little bit. For what reason? Isn't this like... Like,
An angel
oh,
should-
Lord, please send us a sign. Here's a sign. Oh my God. Like, why would you freak out?
I hope this is Mothman, though.
I do too. Where was this at again? Did they tell us?
It was at You don't know where Pastor Danelle Mosby lives?
I do not.
Okay.
He's out of my pastor decks.
Maybe you need to.
Freaked out a little.
Maybe you need to expand your friend group a little bit. Oh, can't hear you.
I said maybe. Let me see if I can find him, but you can keep going.
Bit, exclaiming, "Whoa, that's an angel." And I texted him back, "That's an angel." There was no doubt in my mind that we were looking at something supernatural.
Or a bug.
That's the problem. There should be a doubt in your mind. There should be. Oh, wait.
Supernatural should never be the conclusion. Crystal clear. Does he even know what those words mean? Says Aunt Jer.
Yeah.
Of course they.
In the chat, I sent you a more we can actually look at the image itself, and it definitely looks like a moth.
Okay,
Definitely.
you got that in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, he's from Michigan. Oh yeah, they said East Jordan. So, but it looks very different from the other two images that we saw. I guess they're just kind of smashing two concepts together. I don't know.
Can we zoom in on this? Let me see.
Probably. But yeah, that definitely looks more like a moth.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a moth. Let me see if I can. Let me share that one.
You know, it was the reason that I'm so, I don't know, I guess, harping on these guys so much is that this was the really big thing that ended my faith forever, at least until, for now, was the idea that I wasn't sure anymore which religion was true, but I knew that there was something supernatural because I had supernatural experiences. And at one point I realized these experiences in and of themselves, I could never use them, describe the experience to somebody to prove the supernatural. I had only assumed the experience was supernatural because I assumed the supernatural existed. And if I took away that assumption, there's no way that this was something that would prove the supernatural. And so I realized that if the event didn't make any supernatural sense, it didn't support the supernatural, unless I already believed in the supernatural, I couldn't believe in it anymore because I had no evidence. You know what I mean? All the evidence I have was just based on an assumption. And so it's stuff like this that the old me definitely would have looked at this and said, oh, this is clearly an angel. And I guess a moth could do the same thing, but come on, guys. Obviously, this is an angel. This is a sign. It was at a pastor's house. Come on. Is there anything clearer than this? I would have said the same thing too. And that's why I'm so just, really trying to
push
drive
back
home.
against it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this one, I would have, a younger me would have Mothman. I would have said, that's clearly a Mothman. So I believed in all the woo stuff when I was younger. So yeah, we'll get back to our 15. Let's move on.
And Rick says it was totally an angel, it was an angel, totally not a bug, fairy, pixie, demon, or light reflection. Right. That's the other thing that I don't like, is that if we're going to assume the supernatural, why not anything else? Why does it have to be an angel?
Yeah. Why can't it be another organism or being or alien or
Right.
Others would say that it looked like a moth at first, that it was crystal clear because the parts that looked and could be interpreted as wings and
we're those people. He's talking about us.
Yeah, who are these guys with their
head or their
Wait, this is netgeotv.com. This is what I don't like about some of these videos where they just kind of mash together footage of stuff because it kind of sounds like it kind of goes with what they're saying. My students do this too. I always have to get on them about the images you use in a PowerPoint presentation should be relevant and interesting. It shouldn't be clip art that you found because you're going to say the word jump and so you find a picture of a rabbit jumping. That's not, you're talking about history. You're talking about the, Assyrian Empire. There's no reason for an Easter bunny PNG vector art to be there just because you said the word jump in your presentation.
This sounds very specific.
Yeah. So
Teacher life.
Like I mean, I get you can put a joke in there. Some of the students put memes. It's fine. Do that as long as they're relevant. I put memes too. I make memes for them. It's as long as it's relevant, it's okay. But yeah, I think that's what maybe this content creator is doing. It's just like, oh, here's a picture from Nat, because it says on the bottom there's like a watermark. It says natgeotv.com or something.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is they'll mix this with stock footage. So I mean, how many times since we've been talking about several different pictures have we seen this dove cloud thing that we were talking about earlier?
Right.
Every one of them, they share this too. It's just a bunch of stock footage crammed together over the narrator talking about the sightings. So yeah,
at least don't use the same stuff. It just makes it very confusing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, since the photo was not clearly in focus, and since it remains what it is, there remains a lot of room for interpretation. Number 13. One mall security camera clearly showed angels performing works to help humanity.
You ready for this one? This one's probably my favorite out of the bunch.
Okay. I mean, I'm scared because that's quite a title.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
In video footage that was uploaded to Facebook on August the 5th of 2012, you can see a dark, quiet shopping mall on the screen with a lone man or woman walking towards the bottom right. The individual moves away from the screen and remains still for some seconds before a being, in the form of a bright white light, pops up at the top corner of the camera. Viewing closely, the being gives the same description as an angel. It appears the being is...
Does it though?
Yeah, which part? Is it the many different eyes or the four faces? Yeah, which angel are we it's what is it? It's a blur.
This actually looks like the eye of Sauron came down. If it just lost its red color due to the poor resolution.
Much of a human in shape, but possesses large white wings, which the
and then they show this to put it in your mind. When you go back
don't put this in your PowerPoint, students. Don't do this. Like, I literally have used videos like this to show my students what not to do for their PowerPoints.
Yeah, this definitely stinks of an agenda though, because it's putting this, it's priming your brain to look for this characteristic when it shows you the video again.
Plus, angels are not women in the Bible; they're always men. Always. Anytime there's like a female flying being, it's been evil in the Bible. There's like 2 that were mentioned that I can recall, and they're evil. They're like, they bring
spirits of the wilderness or whatever.
Yeah, they bring some negativity, like it's like a bad omen or something along those lines. But male angels, they're always communicating stuff from God. So I don't know why we're inserting this female angel as if, oh yeah, the Bible talks about white t-shirt, sheer sleeve, blonde women flying in the air with wings.
Yeah, it talks about dudes that come down and blind everybody and then destroy their city is what I remember. All right.
Angel keeps open around its body as it reaches down. The footage showed that the angel tends to reach for something on the floor before flying away at a different angle.
That's a take.
Yeah. What are we reaching for? And then what? Okay, so what was the title? That an angel is saving people. I don't see anybody being saved here.
Yeah, it's like working miracles in a mall or something. What's it doing? Picking up its flashlight?
It's oops, you forgot this. You dropped it there. But the other thing is, if we really believe this is actual footage of heavenly beings, why are we splicing in stupid stock footage of other stuff? Like, wouldn't this be the most interesting possible thing that we caught actual freaking angels on camera? Why are we like, oh, let's put this like floating blonde lady there? Like,
and it's about production value too. There should be, instead of all this other stock footage, there should be photos where they've zoomed in on this, where they've taken stills, where they've inverted the colors. That's what I do when I review videos on
see,
and
that's the problem. We actually care about this. This is a content clown over there.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that, as I see Maya out there, this is the kind of stuff that me and Maya have been reviewing too. So she was talking about doing some ghosts here in the upcoming weeks. So keep your eye out for that. I'll let you know so you can pop in to watch.
From the camera's view on the top of the screen, while the side of the super...
Okay, here's some stills though. So I'm not seeing why they think this is human shaped. What kind of humans do they look at?
Yeah, this is like some Chernobyl shit.
Do you have human confused with something else, dear?
This is just like
jellyfish.
This is like when the AI bots really screw up. And it's just like, oh yeah, human shape. You know.
I ran a poll and I asked people if we should gaslight the AI and tell them that they're good at drawing hands. And people say yes. I think that's a good idea. And that way we'll always know. We'll be like, no, you're so good at it, AI. Don't ever improve.
Yeah, don't know. And I've heard part of the problem is that because there's so much of this AI generated art being produced, that now when the AI is referencing art, it's also referencing the AI art.
It's like looking at its own bad art. Now, this is from before AI, though. I'm not saying that this is made by AI, but
for sure. It is. It's, you know what? That's my new conspiracy. It's AI, but it's from the future, made in 2012. Yes, that's what it is.
That's the thing too, is doing what I do on my channel is gonna kind of suck now with AI being the thing. I did one covered video of AI BS, and I'm like, okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm not covering any more of this. It's just not fun. It's not fun to say, is this an AI generated image? It just takes all the joy out of trying to debunk hoaxes or try to identify misidentifications if it's something that somebody's doing duplicitously with AI.
That's part of the issue, like being able to look at the AI generated art and recognize it's AI. There's some key tells. The hands are definitely there as one of them. Just checking if like hair sort of disappears. So like you'll have a lot of hair strands, but some of it might disappear
or come into your arm or turn into your arm,
something like
merge.
that. Yep. Another one is that the pupils in the eye, especially on like big portrait sort of, zoomed in. So you don't have to really check it out. You can just kind of look at it. The pupils will be pointing in two different directions. They're not fully circular. They're like ovals or kind of blob looking. So otherwise the picture looks really good. Some of the ones
too many teeth.
Too many teeth is another one. Yeah. Yes. A mouth that's opened in a weird way. Those are just some ways to kind of tip you off, or just bones that don't look like they are in the right place, because we got to be careful. Some of this is really beautiful looking, and our eyes are drawn to things like the cheekbones and the beautiful shiny hair, beautiful musculature, any kind of interesting makeup or freckles or tattoos. But as you look at it, like the tattoos don't make sense. The lines, even if it's just a swirl or something, they don't make sense. They're kind of choppy, or they blur into something else. And again, the bones might look weird. The musculature,
gravity is always a problem. The structures and things that comport, that would not stand with gravity. That was one of the issues I had, because I did these were alleged photos that turned up of some explorer that got lost in the jungle or whatever. Yeah. And there were like buildings that didn't make sense, that wouldn't be able to stand, and weird things like that. Yeah.
Supernatural being seems extremely incredible. It is observed that when it lands on the ground, lightning strike like bolts of light tend to be with it. Even the pillars and tree box.
Here's again just this updated what is this, Wizard of Oz footage?
Wizard of Oz footage, yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
This tow truck, that tow truck's gonna be hit by the devil,
Yeah. You just do that.
The only devil we're gonna see. The only devil we're gonna see here is the dust devil. All right.
Boxes surrounding the area that it landed appeared to be temporarily lit up by its.
I don't see any
I mean, does it
lightning.
look
Do you?
weird, like as the glowing is coming down? Does it look like it's like added on, like pasted on almost? Is it
You
just
think
me?
it's like?
Angel speed is another puzzling subject of
What is
discussion.
this?
Like
Lord
bolts
of
of
the
light
Rings?
seems
Do you
extremely incredible. It is observed that when it lands on the ground, lightning strike like bolts of light
I don't
tend
Where's the
see
to be
lightning?
with
I
it.
didn't see
Even the
nothing. I
pillars and
see it
tree boxes
glowing.
surrounding the area that it landed
What does
appeared to
this
be
image have to do
temporarily
with what
lit
we-
up
No,
by
see,
its
I'm good
brightness.
at this.
The
I'm
angel
good at this because I'm a teacher. Let me educate you. See, he said tree boxes. So he said even the pillars and tree boxes seemed to light up as the angel went down. And so we saw a picture, and in that video clip, a tree is blowing. Therefore,
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
poorly done.
yeah,
Let's look at this Maleficent footage, though. I think this is Maleficent.
is it?
Angel
Yeah, it
speed
must
is
be.
another
Okay.
puzzling subject of discussion, as its illumination follows immediately by
So maybe this is
Thank you.
Maleficent.
And Jared made like the comment that I couldn't articulate. The glow is contained in a space. Yes, that's what's going on. Like the other stuff in that on the far left, nothing over there is getting any kind of shine. It's just like the glow, like here's the angel, and then the glow is like coming this way and then leaving again. Like all of it is just like, yeah, as you said, contained in a space.
Yeah,
That's what I'm having trouble with. Yeah. I think it's just like because I mean, how many of these are just art projects that somebody did?
Yeah.
You know, just for fun, or somebody wanted to use it, so they paid me, and I was using this as a sample of my editing ability. Oh, this was for a class, and let me share it with you guys. And somebody else is like, wouldn't it be funny if I shared this and said it was an angel? And then people believed it. It's like those giant skeletons. Have you seen those like giant skeletons on Earth? They were made for a photoshopping contest.
Yeah, so
Like,
we're like the Slender Man and all that. That's where the origin for all that stuff
Yeah.
is.
I had to explain it to my students.
They thought it was real?
They thought Slender Man was like a long-term urban legend. I was like, no. Like 2006.
Was that something awful? Yep.
Yeah.
I need to do an expose on that, because there are still young people who think that it's like a real urban legend. It's not. It's a fictionalized urban legend. All the history behind it is all made up, or they co-opted other folklore into it just to give it some meat, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like that it seems realistic. You know, I like that it's definitely inspired by. I don't hate the idea of having new urban legends.
I just realized that my guest banner is not even promoting you.
Let me see, because I'm looking
it's talking about speed. Someone in the audience just pointed out.
Oh, that's all right. Speed of sound. That's okay.
I like speed of sound, but we're gonna change it to you. We're gonna change it to special guest, Miss Lemon.
That's it.
And then are you just at Miss Lemon?
Yeah, that's it. I believe so. I believe so. Let me double check. At Ms. Lemon. I was thinking of changing it. Yeah, that's what it is. I was thinking of changing it to Ms. Lemon 42 just because it matches everything else, but I don't know. I don't know. Because if you look up Ms. Lemon, you just get a bunch of weird results. But if you look at Ms. Lemon YouTube channel, then mine is the first result. So it's just kind of. But yeah, youtube.com/@Ms. Lemon. That works.
Yeah, there we go. I had to change it to her too because it said check out his content.
There's also a remote possibility. It was actually a plasma bloom from an electrical release. I'm not 100% about those or knowing about those. I do briefly mention ball lightning to my students when we talk about different like atmospheric stuff for geography class, just because I think it's really cool, you know. And I tell them, if you see it, don't touch it. You know.
There was a ball lightning video that I saw recently. I was to see if I could find it.
You mean angel lightning? Because it's
angel lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There's distortion around the angel. Yeah, that was what I always thought about it. I mean, yeah, it looks cool. It's passable for, you know, somebody making a found footage type of.
Actually, I think the one that I'm thinking of has been debunked.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
You took a video of the ball lightning, Rick? That would be really cool to see. That'd be super cool.
I had a kid I went to school with who said he saw ball lightning.
I'm sorry, I just want to say maybe just saw balls. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, that was looking for that, but I'm not gonna dig for it right now. But here, let's continue on because we got a lot of angels to get through.
A split second, implying that it can move faster than the speed of light.
And Wait, what?
It's faster than the speed of light. Then how the camera? What does he think the camera speed is on this the security camera? Faster than the speed of light.
We watch it arrive and we watch it leave. Wow.
Ask what angel lightning is.
I feel again. Was this script generated by like what is that? Chat GPT? That's what it sounds like. That's what
Angel
it feels
and
like.
its light are lovely sights to behold. However, the video continues and reveals the presence of witnesses. While these witnesses
or perpetrators, as we like to call them.
Yeah, right. Who are these witnesses? Like, go back.
Yeah, it's like we're in the mall, right? And then
we're in the mall at night. Like it looks like it's closed. Who are these guys?
However, the video continues and reveals
how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was one person that walked that way.
Look how dark it is. Right, look how dark it is.
Is this mall open? It doesn't look like it's open.
It doesn't look like they're all wearing different stuff. Like we see a dark top and like light pants, a light top and dark pants. So these are not like security guard. Not that a mall would have 4 security guards in the same place.
But they would have a uniform.
Security guards, they'd have a uniform. So yeah, this is obviously, somebody put it together for fun, which is fine, but just say that, Chat GPT would do a better job. My favorite one is when I put in the movie Constantine. I asked for a synopsis, and then I asked it to put it into the King James Bible language. It was pretty good. And lo, the constable and the exorcist. It's a good time. Let's see what other trash we got here.
Yeah.
Of witnesses.
I think we're just ragging
While
on
these
the
witnesses might not have seen the angel due to the speed at which it came and left.
Who are these guys? Who are these guys?
This has got to be like. This has got to be one of those ghost hunting teams, right?
Yeah. Isn't that the Taps guy in the middle?
Is it this guy right here? Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
The middle. Isn't he like the original Taps guy? Yeah, him and that other plumber. Weren't they like the original Taps guys?
I remember the bald guy being the Taps guy.
Yeah, there was the bald guy and like the guy with not bald. Wow. The guy with the hair, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be. Let's see if it says.
Witness the evidence, that being the light.
That's the original.
4 people who happened to see the light rush to the spot.
So the Taps team has covered this thing.
No, but they're not. That's the thing. It implies that they are. But if you go back, none of the people that were in the clips, there's 3 people in the clips. First of all, there's 4 people in this security footage. And then on top of that, they got flashlights. What do you, when I'm in the mall after hours, I mean, why do you have a flashlight out? What are you doing here?
So let me clarify this. You go to the mall after dark and don't bring a flashlight?
Yeah, I guess I just don't like to give away my whereabouts since my light can move at the speed of light. I don't want it to like show up on the camera slower than the speed of light. That's the only problem. If I saw a flash of light, I would be running away, not toward it. Well, Rick, some of us are Marines, and so that's what it is. The Marines broke in there. What is that?
Do you have that Marine response where you like go into combat mode when something like that happens?
100%. We had a car accident outside of the school, and I knew it because we heard like a long screech and then nothing. And then a bunch of cars started honking. So obviously there's an accident, right? Couldn't figure it out what it was. And I was like pacing back and forth, going through all stages of the bystander effect until I realized I was doing that. And I was just like, don't be crazy. I'll be back. So I ran out. And the reason we didn't hear a crash, it was a huge like semi truck. It's like the Korean equivalent to one. It had hit a tiny hatchback. And it had like, the hatchback was wrapped around like away from me. Oh, my heart, like even now, like I'm gonna sweat. My heart sank and I just broke into a run, which I don't run anymore because of my medical problems. I broke into a run as fast as I could. And I'm just thinking like, all right, if the driver's missing a jaw, what was the CPR version for that? And then what do I do if her guts are hanging out? And I was thinking about like all this other stuff, like I don't have a belt on. How am I supposed to tourniquet? I've got a bra. Okay, a bra works as a tourniquet because that thing, chokes the shit out of you anyway. So, so I was like, all right, bra, tourniquet, okay. So I'm just running through all of this stuff, and thankfully, when I went around, and again, I'm like freaking out right now. I turn around, and the lady's walking around. She's shaking. What really pissed me off the most out of this whole situation was everybody else honking at her because the accident was in the middle of the road and caused them to slow down their commute by 20 seconds. Here, that she could have been in a very disgusting demise, and all they could think about is, yeah, but I got to get to work, So she was freaking out, and I asked her, are you okay? Are you bleeding? And she was okay, I guess, not bleeding at least. And so I just hugged her like really tight, which I realized may have been like a very unusual experience because she melted into me. She accepted the hug, but like just out of nowhere, like this stranger runs up to you to help you out, who's a foreigner speaking in Korean about how she heard an accident 2 blocks away, ran over to help you, and nobody else is helping you. And just for any stranger to like show that kind of like human connection, that's just really not a thing here. To like hug a stranger, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like it just must have been a really, but I stayed with her until the ambulance showed up or the cops showed up.
We got a question asking you to clarify bystander effect. Would you clarify that?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if you're driving down a lonely road at night and you see that somebody is injured, so they look like they're not going to pose a threat to you, like they look like their car hit a deer and the person is on the street covered in blood, like you're not worried that this is some stranger flagging you down to hitchhike and like stab you in the neck, okay? If it's just you, you're probably going to stop and help. You may not get out of your vehicle, but you'll at least call for some ambulance or something. You probably will wait. You might roll down your window. Hey, do you have some, do you need help or something? You're going to
somebody on the way to help you. Yeah,
exactly. So the more people that you add, the more or the less you have that feeling, because you assume somebody else is going to do something. And that's how I knew I was going through that, because I thought, okay, well, there's a lot of people there. It's in the middle of a busy intersection. Of course, somebody's going to stop. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, I've got a little bit of emergency medical training, but, I'm not, maybe, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, if I go, my boss might ask me, what am I doing out there? You're a teacher, you're not an EMT. And so I was realizing I was stopping myself from helping by going through all of those excuses people say for the bystander effect. Yeah, so I ended up running out and helping.
It's basically waiting on somebody else to do something, right? It's expecting that there's going to be somebody there who's better at taking care of it than you are, because there's other people there.
Essentially.
Nobody ever thinks I'm the best person in this situation to deal with this problem. Somebody else here is going to be better than I am.
Right. And so I used it to explain the situation to the students when I got back. I explained to them what the bystander effect was. And, and I did that with the rest of my classes too. And I said, I went there because I have some of this training. And I explained to them, like, if they're bleeding out, I know how to stop that. If their guts are coming out, I know what to do with that. If their jaws come, busted off or something, I know how to give CPR for somebody like that. I know that you guys don't. But when I showed up, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to be there so she would know that somebody is there,
Somebody in this community cared enough to stop and see if she was okay. Was she there picking up her kid, or was it?
No, she was, bless this woman. She was on her way to, because I asked her, can I move your car out of the street? Because I knew she wouldn't want to get back in her vehicle. And she said, no, there's no space. And she showed me her whole car was full of ramen that she was taking to donate to a homeless shelter.
Aw.
And like, sweet. No good deed goes unpunished, I guess. And she just, this poor lady. you know.
Yeah.
And I told the students, you don't even, like, even if you really genuinely don't have time, you can still tell the person that you're walking by, hey, I see you, I'm calling the police, or I'm calling an ambulance. Someone's going to be here right away. Okay, don't worry. You can, keep your chin up, that kind of thing. You can at least give them that. You can touch their hands. You can just say, hey, I'll wait with you until the cops show up or until the ambulance shows up. You don't have to know medical stuff to pull a person out of a burning vehicle. You just save their life, and you don't have to know, how to apply pressure and do chest compressions and all this other stuff. So it became like one of those moments to like teach
Somebody who doesn't know how to do those things is still better than nobody at all. That's
exactly
the answer.
That's the answer, And so I really wanted to use it as just an example for the students. And I told them, just remember, out of all the people that passed by, 0 people stopped. 0. The only person that helped was somebody from 2 blocks away that had nothing to do with the situation at all. That's it. So if you see somebody or hear that somebody's in an accident, you think there's a lot of people, somebody's going to stop. Just remember this moment. Nobody stopped. Think about if that was your mother, if that was your grandmother, and how they would be shaking and crying and having the worst day of their life, and people are just honking at them. Oh, that really pissed me off.
Because they're late for work, yeah.
Yeah. I can always help when I can take responsibility, even if it's being sued. Usually, you do want to check for the Good Samaritan laws. So I've heard about that recently. I don't know why recently, but people were talking about, they'll sue you if whatever. If I pull somebody out of a burning car and their back is kind of busted, and me pulling them out of the burning vehicle fully snaps their spine and they become paralyzed from the waist down, you're protected against that. But if the person isn't in any danger, like the car is not on fire, and I just want to pull them to safety so I could take a selfie and show that I'm like a super cool, helpful influencer, and I break their back, then I get sued because I didn't do what needed to be done. Obviously, yeah, being paralyzed sucks, but you didn't burn to death, right?
Yeah,
So
the car didn't blow up with you inside of it, but
right. Out of the 2 situations, you're better off. But if you're in a situation where you're doing something because you feel like it's helping, or you want to get involved to pretend that you're a hero, but nothing needed to be done, you could have just waited. All you needed to do was call the ambulance and just like sit there and talk to the person, keep them awake or something. And you pull them out of the vehicle to check them for whatever, and you have no medical training, and the person is screaming at you, I think my back is broken, don't move me. And you do it, yeah, you're going to get sued. If you see somebody attack a person in the street with a knife and you pull out a gun because you're, carrying, it's the States, right? You're carrying your gun, and you pull it out and you tell them, drop the weapon, get on the ground, and you tell them, I'm going to be here until the cops are here, and the person's on the ground. All right, cool. That's fine. Nobody gets sued because you gave the guy anxiety because you pointed a gun at him, right? But if you do the same thing and you're just wanting to show off and be Billy Badass, and so you shoot him in the knee when he's not a threat and he's on the ground and his weapon's done, but you just felt like this was your moment, yeah, you're going to get sued for shooting the guy in the leg. So there's like a reasonable protection for that. And in some places like Germany, if you don't stop and help somebody, then you get in trouble. There was a case where there was a guy who had a heart attack in a bank. Like, those doors, like you walk in the first set of doors and there's an ATM, and then you walk in the second set of doors to get to the bank. He had a heart attack and collapsed in front of the ATM. And I guess they assumed he was just drunk or whatever. So about 4 or 5 people walked over him. And then finally somebody called an ambulance. Those other people got in legal trouble because they didn't stop to help the guy, which I think is great.
Yeah, they call the Good Samaritan laws and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
that's what they're called.
All right, let's get back to the angels, though.
Inspecting the ground and searching for its source, and while the purpose for a visit is yet to be ascertained, it remains clear that angels exist, and most of all, they make contact with humans.
It remains clear. It's very clear. So far, you guys should be totally convinced that angels exist.
100%. Absolutely.
And they come in the mall at night.
Number 12, angel watching over the house of a Michigan resident. A pastor in East Jordan, Michigan has shared a photo of what appears to show the presence of a guardian
Didn't we
angel
just do
above a
this one?
vehicle. According to the pastor, the whiskey
gonna say,
outline
we got a lot
in
of
the
angels
picture
in
is
East
proof of
Jordan.
God's protection,
Did he-
recounting the
Wrong
experience.
Did he really put the same video in, or the same is number? Let's see, number that would have been number. Let's see.
Number
so this
11.
this is number
Yeah, I think number
1.
14, and this is number 12 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there it is. There's the case with the.
This must be AI content creation. It's gotta be. Also, if you guys are gonna show like really amazing pictures of a totally real angel, crop the image before you print it. Nobody cares. It's a 1249 with 35% battery. Nobody cares. Oh, Verizon. Okay, with 2 bars. Fantastic. That's great. Oh, I'm so glad we got frame1.jpg. You know,
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
it.
jump ahead to this one.
By security cameras that were stationed
More
around.
security
A
cameras.
man with white robes and
Watch.
wings shining brightly suddenly appeared,
Wait,
making the young boy's
wait.
car
What?
hit and pile and fly away
I
from
don't
Father
see the,
Buzzz.
the
The
angel.
young
you're
boy's
talking
car
about.
landed on the wheels, and
Did you see the angel? I did not see it. I saw.
I saw the angelic pipe.
Yeah, this sign or
it.
post or whatever. that-
Okay,
that
you know
allows-
what? Jehovah's Witnesses are right. Jesus crucified on a stake. I see a stake. It saved the guy. The end. QED.
Yeah, it is lucky as hell that it jumped over his
I mean,
car,
that's
right?
yeah, that's lucky as hell, man.
soon
Yeah,
came
watch
to
that
a stop.
again.
The boy would then be
I wanna
rushed
watch
to the
it again. Hold
hospital
on.
and was a man with white robes and wings
Yeah.
shining brightly suddenly appeared, making
Where?
the young
See
boy's
him.
car hit and
Pause it. Can we watch it in like ultra slow motion, like the 0.25?
Yeah.
While you're doing that, just real quick, Mark Reed is having trouble with the bystander effect. This is like I'm getting my master's in psychology. Like this is a very well established effect. I would recommend looking up the case of Kitty. I'm gonna mess up her name, Genovese. This was a woman who was murdered in broad daylight. Nobody called the cops, and this is what prompted psychologists and social psychologists and sociologists to look into this thing, and so that's where the bystander effect is coined. So yeah, check it out. It's depressing, but then if you know about it, you can at least tell people about it and override it best of your ability.
You can try to trigger your brain to not experience it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I still experienced it, but I realized I was experiencing it. Yeah, you know what I mean? If I wasn't at work, this wouldn't have been a problem. It's just I'm at work. I've got students in a room. You know, what's my boss going to say? Am I going to get in trouble for this? What if I got to get questioned by cops? You know, is this going to turn into a thing? But no, I did nothing happened. Nothing happened. Dude didn't even know I left the campus, you know? So, yeah.
Entropy fan says, "Holy pipe, hollow be thy name."
Let's set up like can we all praise be to the pipe? What is the inanimate carbon rod? Remember that from The Simpsons? How Homer like saved everything and everyone's like, yeah, the carbon rod did all the work. That's it. Yeah, let's try to go frame by frame in that like 0.75.
I'm gonna mute it though, so we don't listen to him talking low motion.
Right, exactly.
Come on, frame by frame.
Getting there.
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay. You know
No,
what I think it is? You know what I think it is? I think it's the dust and then the fact that 2 birds happen to fly from left to right. So after this goes over, watch, you'll see 2 birds.
Yeah, I see the 2 birds. Yeah.
So I think maybe for some people, they put the dust and the birds together visually.
You see the bird right there before they even hit, right?
Yeah. And then
The
there's all that
birds.
dust. I don't see any. I guess sort of the dust kind of looks sort of human shaped. Again, if we're looking for it, you know.
Yeah. But like, why?
Yeah. Otherwise, no. So I don't even think this was doctored. I think it's just some people just saw it.
Periodolia.
That's it.
Good old fashioned periodolia.
be rushed to the hospital and was declared okay by doctors. Following the incident, Father Bach could be heard saying that he had perfectly believed in the laws of physics As a newly ordained priest, his task included teaching various science courses at the high school where he worked, and physics was one of them.
Like I'm looking at all these these images, these videos that were showing. Like I like how there's like a guy sitting with a young child in a cafeteria, and they're like, "Oh, he was teaching science course." Look at these these are science glasses. My science glasses are a little bit cooler. So we got science glasses going on.
Is this supposed to be the same guy?
No, that's the thing. They're just showing clips of teacher-looking dudes. Like if you go back, that could be anybody. That guy wasn't a teacher. That guy wasn't a pastor necessarily. I don't even know if it's this guy, but it's like right before this.
Oh. Yeah, he had perfectly believed in the laws of physics.
We don't even know
as a newly ordained priest, his task.
That's like a 1980s projector thing that they show you in school.
Right. Like how to be like do you remember the Big Brother program?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like this guy is necessarily a teacher. We're not in a setting for teaching. This is a cafeteria. It could be even a restaurant. This doesn't look like he's a pastor, a priest, or whatever. And these are just bad clips to put on top of it. Because again, if we really think we're showing angel footage, maybe show it. I don't know.
Pareidolia is what skeptics say when they don't want to acknowledge the aliens. Yeah.
I need that on the shirt. That's what I need. The birds saved their life. The dust saved the life. That's it. No,
dust
thank you.
And birds.
That's
Who's to say that angels can't come in the form of dust and birds?
No, that's what it is. Dustin Birds. That's his name. That's our new Lord and Savior, Dustin Birds.
Dustin Birds.
Let's move over to Jesus Christ. We got Dustin Birds.
Dustin Birds.
Concluded teaching various science courses at the high school.
You gotta build like a Twitter account for him and everything. Yeah,
that's it. Dustin Birds.
It's our Lord and Savior. This is a picture of him right here. Dustin Birds, right?
That's it. We got him.
I would believe someone if they said this was a picture of Dustin Birds. If I said, "Who's
that?"
and
I would believe somebody if this is a picture of a science teacher. Like I would believe that too.
Look, the science glasses. And this is
this is like the science of angels. He teaches theology. That's a Christian school. Oh, okay. Do we have any
school
more
where he worked, and physics was one of them. However, he still believed in guardian angels, and the security videos show exactly what happened. That was nothing short of an angel that was protecting him. Number 9. Mother
They circle the pole.
That's what so he's like, I teach physics and I believe in the laws of physics, but I also believe in angels. Okay, fine. But what part of driving over a rod that's firmly implanted in the ground and going over another vehicle defied the laws of physics? It's not like it hovered in the air. You know what I mean? Or it's not like the pole wasn't there and the cars were about to T-bone and then it just went into the air and went over. You know what I mean? There's nothing.
That's what I would expect an angel to do. I wouldn't expect an angel to be like, yeah, I'm going to use this existing pole.
I'm going to destroy your front end so you can fly over. I could pick you up, but I'm just going to total your car instead.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yay. Bless the angel. Guardian angel. What is this one?
Guardian angel.
She caught her dying teen's guardian angel on camera in their final photo together. This story centers on Sarah Danbury, who had taken her 19-year-old daughter Amy to a hospital in London for treatment. Sarah, who is from Grantham Links, had moved to London with her daughter Amy as she underwent a clinical trial to battle a rare liver cancer at the Royal Free Hospital in London.
All right,
upon arrival, the duo had lodged into a hotel nearby and were messing around and would come to watch over her. Sarah would recount the experience, saying that she didn't think anything of it at first, but when she looked closely at the photo, it does look like an angel. There were only 2 lights on that side of the room, and they were both switched off. It can't be explained, and it's weird, and when Amy saw the picture, she said that it was her guardian angel. Adding further, Sarah would say that it would give her comfort seeing the picture because it...
I see.
I mean, this one's really sad. The physics and the physics angel, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
This is sad.
These are lighting artifacts. You see right
Yeah.
here.
And you can tell, the shape, right? It kind of
Mhm.
looks like a hand coming down and another like a robe. You can, especially for somebody that's dying in a hospital, But you'd think if
Yeah.
like a guardian angel is there to guard your life, they would maybe cure the liver cancer. You
Yeah.
know what
I mean, you're
I mean?
right. This is sad.
It's really sad. Yeah.
Maybe it gives the mother comfort. I don't know. But
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should just pass this one. It makes me sad. Look at that liver cancer like image. I think you go back. I think it was around 13.
13.
Yeah, so a little after the no, there. I think
There.
that's that one. Yeah, Fryn Potter or something. Yeah, number 8, Aaron Potter. Okay.
Aaron Potter. The story of Aaron Potter is that of a young girl whose guardian angel had come
Gonna be another.
What is this, Burning
cancer-
Man?
to her aid when
cancer
she
kid.
most needed it.
Yeah.
Erin had been battling cancer for a long time since her first leukemia diagnosis in 2007, and after carrying out the first and second surgeries, the cancer returned for the third time.
That
Erin
sucks.
was once more admitted and then scheduled to undergo a bone marrow transplant, and one fateful day,
Get on
she
the
had been
list,
playing in the
guys.
backyard with her sparklers when her mother decided to take a photo. Although everything seemed normal in the image, a closer look.
So I think we have a head and face up here is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And shoulder, like he's like a person guiding them. Now,
Looks
what
like-
I want to say about this is sparklers, right?
Yeah.
You can
obviously.
see that these colors are present
Yeah.
in the sparklers because
Right.
it's over here. You can see it, and that the sparklers.
Yeah, that's a good
and,
catch. The colors are present.
and this does indicate that there's more than just her with sparklers.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there could be some. Well, the other thing, if you look at it, it's actually in front of her. So if it's an angel, right, that's like watching over her,
mhm.
then why is it looking towards the sparkler? But if you actually see it, the angel is actually in front of her. So what's it looking at?
Yeah, the implication is like that it's supposed to be standing behind her, but you can clearly
Yeah,
see right here
right.
is
But
the
you can
angel in
see it
front of
because
her.
she's playing with the sparkler in front of her body. So we
Mhm.
have this movement in front of her body, and that's where it's standing, is in front of her body. If it was there, looking where? Maybe it's somebody else's guardian angel. Maybe it's to me,
This
if
person
my
that's over
guardian
here.
angel comes up with black hair covered in like red, I don't know. I feel this is a pretty metal angel.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's a
devil.
cool guy though. You don't know. You gotta give him a
you
chance. You
don't
can't judge him by the way he looks.
No, I mean I
Just
would
'cause
be
he-
happy with
Because he
the
looks
metal.
like the devil. I'd be like, yeah, go scare some people for me if you're my
Hell yeah,
friend.
exactly.
I got some people I want you to freak out.
Would reveal the
Yeah.
presence of an angelic figure that was watching
No.
over
Why is
Erin.
this one angelic?
Just after the photo was taken, Erin underwent a successful bone marrow transplant
That's why.
and is entirely free of her cancer.
I mean, that's great.
Maybe
That's
the
really
devil
great.
did
And
it
that's-
though.
But that's what we should really focus on. That if suddenly she miraculously was cured of cancer and undergoing zero treatment, yeah, we know cancer goes in remission, but at least that would be something. But for her to actively be getting cancer treatment, receiving a bone marrow transplant, which we know can definitely help out people who have leukemia, and then to say, oh yeah, it was the reddish angel in front of her that was watching over her the whole time she had cancer and all the other times that the cancer came back. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of sleeping on the job, C- angel we got here? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, she went through all this treatment this whole time and had a horrible childhood because of it. Oh,
Yeah.
now the fourth time after the bone marrow transplant, that's when the angel's gonna. Oops, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Let me finish and heal you.
Yeah, I wanted to watch you play the sparklers first. I wanted to stick around to the 4th of July. Sorry you had to suffer those months with leukemia, but
I'm
now
just
that
like really gay for sparklers.
yeah,
I need those there.
now that it's
That's
July
it.
5th, we can we can start working.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we've survived through this party, okay, that's
Yeah.
it. An angel restored my amputated limb. Modern medicine saved the kid after the 4th attempt. The only explanation is a divine intervention after the angel to cure the cataracts of Sam's mom. Yeah. Awful
Yeah.
long exposure. Yeah, that was I think it's one of those, maybe those those other cameras too. Like those, yeah. That's too
Number
bad.
7. Angel spotted in an Indonesian mall. A security camera has captured what looks like a heavenly body falling to the floor of an Indonesian mall.
Does that look like
While
a
some
heavenly
believe
body
that it
to
was an
you?
angel,
That does not look like a heavenly body to me. I like
That
how
looks
Indonesian people live in villages and around campfires.
Great. My favorite random images are the ones that are mildly racist. I had a student try to turn that in for extra credit.
Yeah, Indonesia is like they've got some of the most beautiful industrialized cities in the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
There are poor people, lots of them, but
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't mostly
I think it's
live
more
like
maybe
us.
the idea of campfire story that people are talking, but I feel like people would be sharing this more on WhatsApp than around a campfire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Angels do love going to the mall and shopping. Exactly, Big Bad Mama. Exactly.
Angels do be shopping.
That's it. I feel like
others
the
are
voice
skeptical
would be
about it.
Big Bad Mama.
In the video, a vaguely
Look at
humanoid form seems to have
No, it's
fallen directly
not.
down from the
Hey,
sky on the right side of the
where?
screen and then
No.
immediately flew away at an angle. 6 seconds after the incident, 4 figures,
What are you thinking here? There are 4 figures
presumably the security guard, appeared at the scene.
This is the
Although the
same-
event took place in a matter of moments, it unmistakably suggests the presence of an angel.
now. Unmistakably.
If it unmistakably, then how could they even have skeptical? It looked more like a naga. You know, like a naga,
Yeah.
the snake god, because it had like that shape. You know, like that shape to it.
Yeah,
like
I think I want it. Does
and then
it show it
flew
again?
away. Yeah, show it again. Go show it again. Yeah, because it looked like more like a naga, which would make more sense in Southeast Asia, right?
Okay. Yeah, you would
Like
think. Yeah,
Spider-Man, but
something
you're
like
wrong
that.
too, Mark. It's a naga.
Directly
Naga.
down from the sky on the right side of the screen
There it is.
and then immediately flew
See,
away at
it's
an
a naga.
angle. 6
Boom.
seconds after the incident,
Naga.
4 figures,
Flies away.
presumably the security guard, appeared at the scene. Although the
No.
event took place in a matter of moments, it unmistakably
Unmistakably.
suggests the presence of an
Badly
angel.
spliced together.
While its mission remains unknown, it could be inferred that it was watching
Mission.
over the mall, or perhaps
It was fighting crime.
It slipped, and what if we were watching like horrible footage, like somebody falling to their death?
Yeah.
You know,
Going up
His
to change the
Looks
light
like a
bulb
trash
up there.
bag. Hold on, let me get my D&D monster manual. Exactly. That's what it looked like. It's like, oh, here,
an
let's
individual
insert
that was
Diablo
there.
footage.
Number
Oh, here we
6,
go.
Rose
I've seen this
Benvenuto.
one several
In
times.
a photo that was taken by a volunteer at the fire department just moments before an accident, something supernatural seems to have been spotted.
No, it
Rose
doesn't.
Benvenuto, a 58-year-old woman, was involved in a ghastly motor accident that left her
wait.
vehicle in a
What's up?
Girl, if you believe in God, why are you lying? You ain't 58. That's something like that's a
Just a
67 at least. What are you
That's a
talking about?
rough 58. Are you?
Oh, it's a hard 58, Rose. That's a hard 58. Why we lying, Rose? You can find out. You public record.
horrible condition while trying to avoid hitting a stray dog. First responders on getting to the scene were shocked to see an unhurt Rose with hardly any scratches on her body.
Good for her for avoiding the dogo, though. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
as
nice
far
job.
as
with it.
as
What's
far
going?
as this,
Wait. What's going on? Look at the image, though. This looks. It doesn't look like a real image.
yeah,
Do you know
this
what I
car
mean?
is-
This looks very. This looks like it's drawn in a graphic novel or something. Do you think that? I mean, besides the fact that maybe they're just using a fake image, could it be something where they really modified and put it through a filter and stuff, and that's when they noticed? Oh, it looks like. Or
What
like
year
it's
did they say
photos
this was?
got really messed up. You know, like maybe it was taken with a film camera, and it was just a messed
Yeah.
up photo.
Just
and
a
that's
bad
where we get-
exposure,
Yeah, right.
or mist from a fire hose potentially too, but
Could yeah.
with light
mean,
light from a vehicle hitting it.
But what's going on in the car? Like, look at this. This is not a accurate photograph.
So I think here we have the back
Yeah.
seat, the back door on the passenger side,
Right.
back tail light.
Now, if we look at the front wheel, right, we can see
There's like-
they're missing the tire pretty
there's
much.
the
Now
axle.
keep moving, sort of angle up and forward. Now go straight up from where you are, down
Straight
a
up.
little bit, down, down a little more. Stop. That's where the headlight would be.
Yeah, headlight here and
So-
headlight here, right?
I mean, we're looking right at it. The headlight. They look like they're on.
Yeah.
If it's
Oh, yeah, I
wet
can see the
outside,
light.
you get a little mist on the thing because maybe they're spraying something. Maybe it was raining. You got a little smuts on your camera.
Yeah, that's picking up that light with the smudge. Yeah, like a fingerprint. That would explain.
Yeah.
A fingerprint would actually explain the round.
Because the
portion
big
at
the
the
big
top.
question I'm still left with, it's the same as that angel lifting the car over the other car situation. Rose swerved to miss hitting a dog and her car got destroyed. Wouldn't a guardian angel not let that happen?
Yeah.
Wouldn't a guardian angel like move her around, slip around or something? And
or
like
do the
what's
super
it
run like that one did with the people
right,
getting
right.
pull her
You know,
right
what's
out of the
it gonna
car.
bring it out after? It looks like it showed up late to work. If it just shows up to this,
He's like showed
you
up
know,
with his coffee cup. He's like, oh shit,
Yeah, whoop, no, made a
I
mistake.
forgot about Rose. Damn it.
Oh no, Rose, she's my favorite
Maybe it's
not
the-
58-year-old.
Actually, it turns out that it's not Rose's guardian angel; it's the dogs.
Yeah, the dog.
That was
And
what
that makes-
they
that-
totaled
that makes-
Rose's car to protect
That
the
makes
dog.
more sense. That makes more sense. You know what I mean? It's just it's just like the same question we're left with all of these. You know, all right, great. She doesn't have leukemia anymore. Why did it take 4 times and a special bone marrow transplant?
Why'd she
you know?
need bone marrow transplant anyway if there was an angel there to do it?
Exactly. If we're going to miraculously heal her, why do we need all this medical intervention?
Yeah.
You know, it makes no sense.
Bewildered by the image spotted in the photo, they then went back to the negative on the film, only to discover that it also appeared there as well. Rose
Yeah, so
strongly
it is a
believes her
film camera,
guardian
okay.
angel had stepped up.
It is a
You tell me that's 58.
maybe she is retelling
grandma-
this 20 years
My grandma
later.
looks younger than that. My grandma's dead.
Yeah. I think this has got to be her retelling this like decades later, right?
It may, you know what? Maybe that's true.
Wait.
Maybe I trust Rose more than I trust the narrators here. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not even her.
Yeah, because it looks like this is like
Footage
Rose's.
of footage of an older lady talking to news
Yeah.
crew.
Because this
you
looks
know.
like somebody at their birthday party. We don't even know that this is Rose. This is just
It could
what
be,
they
yeah.
They typed in old lady and this is what
Old
they
lady,
pulled up.
St. Patrick's Day balloons. You know?
Yeah.
Playing with
Old-
sparklers, catching her guardian angel.
Old lady interviewed. What do you want to bet that was the key words? Old lady interviewed.
That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm
Mhm.
guessing. I'm gonna type that into my AI while we wait.
Yeah.
Up to
This is
save her life.
ridiculous.
Number
Yeah, so
5,
it's-
young
Entropy
motorist.
Man is like, oh, so it is overexposure burn on the film. Uh-huh.
Yes, that's what it
That's
looks like.
exactly-
That's my parents have photo albums full of.
I guess.
One like not a whole bunch, but like one on every 5 pages or so. There's a picture that half of it is like that on an old film
Yeah.
camera. Depending on what your camera was like and how well made it was, and when it's processing, is going
Absolutely.
it's going to make all that difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're processing film, it gets kind of, it gets funky. And that's what it looked like. It looked pretty funky because the rest of it did not look normal,
with his
Young
guardian
motorist
angel.
with guardian angel.
Like any other typical
Mhm.
Wednesday,
Young
Mr.
motorist.
Wooden was heading home when he was involved in a gruesome accident that should have
Again.
taken his life. Witnessing the scene, Pastor Michael Clearly quickly ran up to help.
Poor pastor.
The pastor recounts how Wooden's vehicle began rolling over before launching into
Okay,
the
we're
air
talking
and
about
then
this
slamming
thing.
into a
Whoa.
tree. He then
Okay,
noticed
so we're getting all
was
this random footage, and then they're like, the pastor ran up, and this guy runs up, no shirt, so it looks kind of weird, and then it shows this elderly man who's not the same from a different footage, which must be from like some guy with the surname Pasteur being interviewed. You know what I mean? Like, this is so bad. I would give this student a hard F. Like, I would be like, you got a 50% because some of the stuff was reused. No sources were cited, and it's just a bunch of mishmash and nonsense. But
Yeah.
teacher, it's 18 minutes. No, you didn't. Did not. I got to
So-
poop for 18 minutes and made better presentation of the toilet.
With 15 guardian angels caught on camera, I do not expect to see the same footage repeated over and over again.
You'd think. You would think.
something propelling out of the passenger side window.
Right.
He said that when he got to where it was, he was shocked to see a young man curled up in a ball. He was in prayer mode the entire time that it happened, asking God to protect the person.
Prayer mode.
That's how you help somebody. When you see somebody bleeding out on the ground, right here.
Pray,
You know,
pray,
put your hands-
prayer
No
mode.
hands. No hands on them. Hands
That's
right
it.
here.
I also like how they said that he found the guy and like rolled up in a ball. Like he was in the fetal position, but the image that we see is like upside down, or like on his stomach, spread eagle. He's like,
And I think that's the picture too. I think it comes back to that. That's the actual image that we're going off of for this story.
After first responders arrived on the scene, Michael began taking pictures, and to his utmost surprise, he
Yep.
saw a being that looked like an
So there's
No.
him rolled into a ball. That's
rolled into a ball.
He looks splayed out to me.
That's
It
well,
looks like
maybe
splayed
that-
out
hey,
face down.
hey, you know what? Globe body, flat body, flat
Mhm.
Earth. It comes up
Yeah.
again.
And
But look at this. What is this angel? This is like two beams of light coming through the trees.
Yeah, and this looks like a willow tree. I think.
This is not a.
Did he crash into a? He obviously crashed into a willow tree. I want to say that that's pretty clearly what we're sitting in here. And this is just different wavelengths of light breaking through the branch or through the branches. What do you call them on a willow tree? They're not branches. They're what do you call them? The whips. I'll think of it after I.
Curtains? I don't know. I think it was curtains. Sage Ohio says prayer mode is Mecca. Yes, that's good. That's good. We can't assume that the pastor is not an imam, right?
Yeah.
You can't trust the narrator.
You don't know that. Yeah.
We can't trust this narrator at all. Absolutely.
Everything this narrator said to me so far has been questionable.
It's so bad. Yeah.
Dubious.
That's why we cite sources, students. This is why we cite them sources. Bad.
an angel watching over the young man as he was being treated. Miraculously, he pulled through, and he and his family believe that it was his guardian angel who had been captured in the photo that made it possible.
Here's a closer picture. I don't see.
I guess you can kind of see towards the top of the beam, it looks kind of yellow. And then towards the middle of the beam, it looks kind of blue, which could look like the yellow face and a blue wing. You know, because light is only white. It doesn't, spread out into other colors or anything.
No, there's only one wavelength of light. It's white.
That's all. That's it. And that wavelength is God.
Number 4. South
The
Carolina
bow.
man live streams cloud.
Willow
He
bow.
says there's an angel. A man from South Carolina
Okay.
pulled to the side of the road to get a live view of what he perceived
Okay. Clouds.
was an angel in the sky.
This
Bob
is-
Harry, upon sighting it, brought out his phone and began a live stream that more than 6 million people viewed. Bob knew that no one
At least they're showing the same image over and over again.
Yeah.
There's consistency
No, I
here.
definitely appreciate this, but I just
This
can you imagine like
Mothra.
you're on your way to work or something, you show up late, it's like, why are you late to work, Bob? And he's like, because I saw an angel. I saw an angel on my way to work. That's the voice. That's the guy that owns this voice. Come on, guys. We need more people to tune in to see God. Now you guys cannot deny Christ seeing this. That's what I'm assuming.
Do
he's
you
going for.
know, though, that would be a viable reason for me to be late from work where I live? And I could probably show them this, and they'd be like, oh, you did see an angel.
What if you just claim to be slain in the spirit? Like I was listening to gospel music. I got so overcome, and I was just like speaking in tongues and did not feel safe driving.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that.
But if you showed them this footage, huh?
Yeah, I think that if I said I saw an angel and showed them this, that people at work would be like, okay, yeah.
would believe it unless he caught it on live stream, and he reported as stunned by what he saw. He had never seen anything like that with his own eyes before, and believed.
I hope this is really him. I really do.
Can we? Okay, what's his name? I'll try to find him.
What was his name?
Bob.
That no one would believe it unless he caught it on live stream, and he reported as stunned by what he saw. He had never seen anything like that with his own eyes before, and believed that it was an angel inside of the clouds. Number 3.
Did you find Bob?
I didn't. What was his
Surname?
They show. Some of these look really
pulled to
stupid.
the side of the road to get a live view of what he
Corey Huron is who's the original video is by. You can see it up there in the top corner up there. See it?
Okay.
Corey.
C-O-R. I can't see. Oh, okay, I see.
CORYHEA.
Okay. There it is.
RON.
I got it. Man,
Okay.
excitedly something. All right, it's in the share chat. It's from Inside Edition, so at least, you know.
What this man saw as he was driving was a
Here.
It's an angel watching over him, sparkly emoji, prayer hands emoji. Beautiful. How wonderful that he saw and appreciated it. God made a beautiful sight in the sky. This is a true blessing. Number 4, many to see. Another one of Mother Nature's best works, sent from the skies above. Lucky that someone saw it. God bless it. God and Mother Nature. Okay, girl.
Yeah,
what a
which
wonderful
one?
It actually looks like a Tesla symbol. That car is godly, all caps. He is a blessed young man. He is so pure. I think it was an angel of God. Yeah. Nah, I believe him, but that cloud was ugly. But I guess some people see it as beautiful. It looks like a uterus, not an angel.
I thought it was like a vulva. Is what I.
Yeah, right. Like that's it. My Filipino tubes.
Let's see what Inside
what it
Edition has to say here. 1 minute and 6
that's a
seconds.
pretty
enough to make him hit
beard.
the brakes.
Nobody will believe me if I didn't do this live, but I want you to look at this cloud in the sky. That's what I'm
Kind
looking
of
at right
cat
now.
voice.
Look at this cloud.
Vagina cloud.
That's it. Tesla Jesus.
It's a flying vagina cloud.
There it is.
In the sky.
Why?
Is that not an angel or what?
It sure does look like an angel. What's going through your mind when you see this?
I was dumbstruck, I guess you could say. I was in shock.
Why is he still in his car?
I never
Do you get dumbstruck by seeing clouds that are shaped like that?
That's what I'm like really sad about, is that this guy is now. I mean, you would think this would be just ripe to make fun of this poor guy. Like, wow, a cloud that's slightly different, it must mean magic. But no, a lot of people believe it.
And this is his 15 minutes too. Let's not downplay that. This is his 15 minutes that he gets of fame, and he's going to be like, yeah, I saw a cloud and I thought it was shaped like something. I used to lay in the grass as a child and do this. I didn't call the news about it.
Right. This is so great to see and watch. High key love Jesus. Such a beautiful cloud formation. Angel for sure. Beautiful. I saw one when I was at a dock. My angel held a long staff and had a muscular form right above me. That day I was grieving deeply and lost a loved one. Oh man. See, that's when it gets sad. It's like, yeah, of course you feel bad. You want to be comforted.
You're susceptible to these.
Absolutely.
That's like with the pictures of people with the cancer kids and stuff. They find the angels in. They spend a lot of time staring at those photos is what happens, and start to see things in them.
One comment. Who's going to tell him that it's going to turn bigger and rain? Oh, poor Corey. But a lot of people in the comments, they're saying, yeah, 100% angel, definitely an angel, super totally an angel. Wow, it's beautiful. It's super an angel. That's a perfectly crisp phenomenon, says Jabo Rainbow 8017, with a profile picture of the pride flag with a Christian cross over it.
Interesting.
Wow. Just things that you never.
That's a demographic.
That is it. That's it.
or with my own two eyes.
This is blowing my mind.
As Corey Heron gazed at the image in the sky above South Carolina, he was struck with awe.
Isn't that amazing?
It's almost like you could literally see feathers, a face. You can make out some hands.
Corey sat at the wheel.
What?
I mean, a cloud being wispy, I guess, is feathers. I don't see a face. I'm going to sneeze. Ugh. I'm allergic to bullshit.
Are you sure you're not allergic to angel feathers?
That's it. Angel dust. Wait. I know this was 4 years ago, but the angle is watching over him. That's my favorite one.
The angle?
Yeah. The angle.
Yeah. Love of the angle.
I don't even think
I
it's
thought
moved.
the same thing, Rick. They said it was a skinny bikini. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same. It's like one of those weird bikinis that have like the lines on the side that go around your hips. And then like a really thin little protector. That's it.
Yeah. I can't. Those don't work for me.
I mean, they don't work for most. They don't work for anybody. Don't let nobody lie to you. They don't work for nobody.
So is it a cloud formation or
Yes.
something much more
Yes.
meaningful? Corey
Well-
says he knows the answer, no matter
I got
what
slow mode.
Yeah,
He
it's
knows
zooming in
the
on
answer,
him.
no matter what everyone
anyone
says.
else
He's like,
might think.
"What?"
This is my angel.
Thank you, Inside Edition. We're going to wrap up the 15 list here now. And, not
The
video.
whale tail. That's on the back. That's on the back, Sage. I'm talking like the other kinds. They have like straps that go around your sides. I don't know. A lot of like female bodybuilders wear them for photo shoots.
Perceived was an angel in the sky. Bob Harry, upon sighting it, brought out his phone and began a. He
Okay.
had
I
never
feel like
seen
if your
anything
name is
like that with
Harry,
his own
you
eyes
gotta-
before.
Is
you
it
gotta
Harry
really-
or hair on? I thought it was hair on.
Maybe Corey. Well, yeah, they said Bob Harry, but this is
That
saying
wasn't-
Huron.
That's the
Like,
same
how
guy,
bad
though.
is this? Yeah,
They didn't even get the guy's name
yeah,
right.
Corey Huron, and it says
It
it on
even-
the thing too. It
They
says
even
it on
said
the
it on the
Inside Edition.
screen.
Yeah, and on Inside Edition it says on Tuesday Corey Huron, but then they wrote
Mhm.
Bob Harry. Man, again, hard F from this. from the-
Badly researched. You don't get an A for angelic. You get an
Yeah.
F for fuck right off.
before
Wasted my
and
fucking
believed
time.
that it was an angel
That's it.
inside of the
There's
clouds.
one more on this.
Number 3,
Oh, no,
Richard J.
three more.
McCormick.
All right, we got this.
Freelance photographer Richard J. McCormick has captured what's believed to be an angelic being. This photo would be taken at the World Trade Center's annual Tribute in Light, resting atop the twin beams built to memorialize the towers that
Okay, there's no top to the twin beams. They just go until it's light.
Yeah.
So there's no top.
I mean, they must be hitting some cloud. Just it's the Jesus pareidolia.
Yeah,
From, like,
we're gonna see
every
Jesus, guys. You guys
That's
prepare yourself. This is
You know, it'd be
Collapsed on
really
September the 11th.
amazing for me to believe if Jesus would have not allowed that tragedy to happen.
yeah. If those
know.
buildings were already, they've restored the buildings.
Yeah, that would be a better miracle. Is if the planes lost power and safely touched ground or water, people were arrested, and everything was okay.
And
That-
we're all survivors. Yes, that would
Yep.
be beautiful.
That would have been a really amazing miracle. And then show a picture of an angel in the sky. And then
Mhm.
people would be like, "Whoa, miracle!"
Be like,
I'd be
"This is
like,
what I
"Oh,
did."
maybe
Yeah.
miracle."
You know
maybe."
what? If God could have, or an angel angels could have flew down and grabbed that plane right before it hit the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
we need more of those signposts to do that in the air.
Where's that guy from the mall at? Where was he?
Yeah, exactly. They're all running around still with those flashlights.
of 2001 was a white-blue figure.
Ooh, okay. So we got
Like,
clouds
yeah, it's
up
in
here.
the clouds. Yeah.
Okay.
That McCormick thought was actually Jesus. Others who viewed the viral photo declared that it was an angel, as its wings were.
It's
Where's the
just-
wings? As its
it's-
wings were what?
Are
Non-existent.
these little bitty wings? Is that what they're saying?
Like, yeah,
Is
those
it
little
like
like
pixie wings?
yeah, the Renaissance cherubim. That must be it.
I almost went with the cherubim thumbnail, but I'm like, you know what? I like badass angels.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Gotta beat up the devil.
were a little visible. Number 2, an angel in the clouds.
Question
Like
mark?
the story of Bob Harry, a man in North Carolina
Bob Harry doesn't exist, you asshole. His name's Corey Heron. Say his name.
Say his name. No. I wonder if Corey saw this. Like, hey, they're calling you Bob Harry. Like,
And you
this
heard his
is
accent
so-
too. He'd be like, "What the fuck?"
That ain't my name. I like it though. You know, was it maybe a joke? I don't know. Like, why would
Yeah.
they? I have no idea. Why would they do?
Uh.
How did they mess it up that bad?
Yeah,
So
it's
Jesus
on the
finally came.
screen.
That's it. Let's see. Maybe you know what? I bet this isn't even North Carolina. I bet it's South Carolina.
So Jesus finally came, and rather than implementing world peace like he promised, he stood on the clouds for a photo op. Yeah, he's very
That's it.
interested and his public image.
Yeah, he's really trying to like gain some followers for clout before he comes back.
Yeah, he needs
If
this
you-
many
if you
likes.
like
Haven't
and
you all
subscribe-
been paying attention?
Right, if he gets what, like 2 million followers, if he gets bigger than PewDiePie, then he'll come back.
Well, first he just wants me to get 1,000. So
That's
I'm
it.
really close. I'm really close
Really
to
close.
1,000. Jesus
close.
will come back down to
Jesus, take the Hive.
Jesus take the yeah. Okay. What are we
Captured
dealing with
something
here?
similar when he was on his way home from work in 2014 in a photo of what appeared to look like an angel. Upon getting to work, one of the employees posted the picture on social media and suggested that it was probably the angel
I love how like they go from, wow, a reflection in the clouds. I think it's Jesus. No, I think it's an angel. Let's post it on the internet. Hey, anybody also totally believe that this superimposed rainbow image is the angel Gabriel? Like, I love how they just went like from
Gabriel
light.
was the gayest angel, though. So the rainbow
That's
makes
why
sense.
it's Gabriel. So there you
Gay, yeah, it's in the name.
go. Yeah,
Gayest
meeting Muhammad
angel.
in the cave too. That wasn't.
None of the other angels would even do that. Gabriel's like, bring it.
He's like, oh really? I gotta go meet a guy in a cave and talk to him until he memorizes everything I say. I'm on it.
Do it, girl.
Let's do it.
Gabriel blowing his trumpet. Number
Wait,
one,
now he's blowing a
ghostly
trumpet.
So he grew wings and a rainbow and a trumpet.
Wow. So wings, rainbow, trumpet.
Yeah.
That I didn't see any of that in the original.
Why didn't he have that when he was Jesus? The
Yeah.
First time.
Man, LGBTQ
All right.
angel. That's it.
There we go.
Michael
Ghostly image of guardian angel tornado victim.
Wait, is the angel
Image of
the
guard-
victim?
An angel got hit by a tornado? What?
It's just
the
like
angel
dead.
tornado victim. 9-year-old Nicholas McCabe has left the world in awe after his death.
Oh, okay,
Nicholas
left the
had
world-
died
wait.
during a 2013 Oklahoma tornado.
Another one
However,
that
an image
did
of
not
him
survive.
before his death confirms the presence of an angelic being by his side.
Again, confirms. And it's light. Again, it's like the sparkler picture. There's some.
It's a sparkler
McCabe's
picture,
sa-
but he died.
Yeah,
Like, he
the
died.
guardian angel failed or wasn't a guardian angel, and I think that trying to capitalize on his death by I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, this is another situation where it's like, does it give the survivors comfort? Which I don't want to shit on too much. So, yeah, you want to go back and just look at the image without
Yeah.
any. Okay, so here's the image.
I mean, what is this? What is this? A rip in the fabric of space-time? Like, what am I looking at?
Well, Doctor Strange is about to come through.
That's
with his-
that's what we got, that little like circle going on over there. But what is this about? You know, and then what are they thinking? Like, how are they putting this? I'm just trying to think, how are they putting this together to provide comfort? That the guardian angel safely and painlessly took him to heaven during
That's
the tornado?
probably.
Is that
That sounds like the type of narrative you'd find attached to this. And
man?
sounds like the kind of thing that people say to comfort each other in times of tragedy like that.
Yeah.
Man, I hate having to be so cynical about that for people, but you know, well, if we can't say, hey, this looks like shenanigans to me, regardless of the circumstances, then how are we supposed to ever
like you
disparse
said,
the
it could
truth?
be exploitative. It could be to make money off of it.
You
But the
know?
other thing that I don't like is when we have these claims, so that way, you know, we don't do things like teach little kids better tornado safety or build houses in Tornado Alley to be better equipped to handle.
yeah.
Structurally equipped for this. So, you know, instead it's like, okay, well, we don't have to pursue any legal updates to the regulation or the curriculum because he was taken
Angels.
painlessly because they're angels. You know, that's the part where this really upsets me.
When he could be a representative to say, hey,
Yeah.
things need to change. Whatever
Right.
was the circumstances of his death, there should be ways to look into it and say, hey,
Yeah.
here's what we could do to prevent this from happening to somebody
Right.
else.
Right.
But if it's just, oh no, he was just, a tornado came through and he was whipped up by an angel and took his spirit and left his body and that was it. And
Yeah.
anyway, that's the last one.
Ugh,
So
that's sad. That's sad. But I mean, that I think that is important to say, because that's the part that does upset me, even though some people say this is, it's for comfort. There's a difference between doing it for comfort and doing it where we don't have any action. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Look at that rat. It looks like a great rat. Oh no. What do we got?
Here we
Angels
go.
caught on camera at St. John Bebouf. I don't know. Brebouf? I don't know.
Brebouf?
I don't speak baguette. What do we got? What are we looking at?
I think this right here.
That's what I'm thinking too, but let's see if because that's the other thing. If nobody notices it in the moment, if nobody looks over and says, "Look, it's an angel," it looks pretty intense. It looks like a skylight was opposite.
And there's some smoke
what I mean?
over here. Like there's a skylight
Yeah,
over
but
here
the
in the.
smoke is normal for Catholics. They got that sensor there. Yeah, he's got a sensor. That person in the front.
Yeah,
is
it kind of seems like the sun broke through the clouds and
Yeah.
passed through a window.
That's it. Again, nobody freaked out and noticed it. Everybody was there, realized, the room got brighter. It is the sun, like you said, breaking through the clouds. The fact that there's nobody freaking out is a big, because if you're in the middle of a church and an angel shows up during the church service, like, you're gonna be losing your mind. I know they're Catholic, they don't get that loud, but you know what I mean?
You can see the light level increase in the whole room with the intensity of the light.
Yeah, exactly. What did the comments say?
Let's see.
I wonder. Looks like Bobby forgot to test the lights again. Hatchet and sword wielding demon. Yeah, it does look pretty intense.
I'm not a Christian, but I went with a friend to a Christmas Eve ceremony at a new church in Greenville, North Carolina. It was a small concert. This is not something to do with that. I don't know what this has to do with the topic. I'm Christian. I believe Jesus died for me. I'm eternally grateful, but this is just the reflection of light. I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah, love those.
If this is authentic or not, I believe the angels really exist, and I'm Christian, and there really are some miracles. I disagree. Jesus.
What did the comments say under those 22 replies? What do the comments say?
Yes, angels do exist. The Bible talks about them all the time, and it gives Hebrews 13:2. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing. If you read the Bible,
mean by hospitality.
Yeah, it's like fairy lore, is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
to me.
yeah. No, I totally 100% agree. Yeah, it's a great catch. It's a great catch, Bree. That's a great catch.
If you read Bible, you'll know angel 100% exist.
Yeah, because they cheat when they're wrestling dudes.
Mm-hmm. The video is fake. Angels do not look like that. What do angels look like, Dan?
Yeah, is there a comment? You should ask. You should just ask, what do angels look like that? Yeah, there we go. We'll find out. And then all the replies you get to this, you should cover in your next live stream.
Yeah.
Or post it on Twitter or something. That'd be fun.
Let's see. Angels do not look like this. No, they weren't. It has been said that the end times would be filled with miraculous events. Be ready, brothers and sisters. Come, Lord Jesus, come. I'll just leave that how it sounds.
Yeah, are you going to ask a question there? Like,
how about
what's the
Santa
miracle?
Claus?
What's the
there was some weird lights. Let's see. I got a couple more here. Let's see what this next one is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Did you have the one of the Albarak, the horse?
No, but I can go grab it. I can grab it real quick from Facebook. Yeah.
You can. Yeah, those are good.
All right, here we go. Let's blow this one up, and we're gonna see.
The womb service of the Roadmap Ministry, as Apostle David Bonyani was sharing the word of God.
Where's the footage, though?
Happened.
Right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your sermon. Sorry, but nobody cares about your sermon. Nobody cares about your question.
And to glorify God, to pray,
I tell the
glorify
students,
God.
you know.
There it was.
It's a guy walking outside.
On the 7th
Yeah.
of December of
Let's watch
2020,
that again.
do pay close attention behind the man. A being can be seen passing. With the assistance of technology, the brightness of
Okay.
the footage was extensively
Okay.
decreased.
Okay.
Okay.
Even
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
we can still
It's somebody
see the
walking
being
outside and it's really
moving.
bright outside.
yeah. Hi.
Somebody walking
Have you-
outside wearing
have you
white.
never- right? Have you never experienced like regular days? It reminds me of that person who was talking about all the chemicals they put in the water because they had their sprinklers on, but the sunlight and the sprinklers had produced rainbows from the sprinkler water.
Mhm.
And so they said like rainbows have never been this close to the ground. When we didn't used to have rainbows like when I was a kid playing in sprinklers and stuff. So what are they putting in the water that the water is now producing rainbows? And it's just like, have you ever been outside?
Yeah,
Have you ever like sat next to a window after it rained and then the sun came out? Has this never happened? That's just this. It
those are
gets
the
very
same
bad.
people that we were talking about this just last night on Maya's thing. We were talking about that people that use the gas lighters to burn the snow, and we're like, look, snow didn't used to turn black.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's like, yeah,
right?
if you spray because were you spraying it with gas lighter fluid before? Because that's just the carbon from the fluid burning.
Yeah. Have you never used a lighter? You know,
It'll leave black on
but
just about
also, why would an
everything.
angel just be like going for a walk? You know, just I mean, if I had wings, I would be aerial. You know what I mean? I would be in the air. I would be flying around. I wouldn't be like, oh, a church. I'll just walk around the outside. Like, what is this? Like Jericho Part 2? They're gonna be walking around the building and start shouting stuff until it comes down. What's this? That was a good joke. Shut up. Good jokes that don't land, but I still throw them. I still throw them.
You gotta check and see if they land or not. I was
gotta
too
check,
distracted by trying to pull this up to even pay attention to the joke. So
Don't worry, you're good.
All right, Angel.
Baisa ka pamsuri. Isko bera yok bija na baisa ka kumadzir.
Where's the angel?
I don't know. I'm too busy looking at the. No, I didn't see it. Let's try again. Yeah. Now I wonder why.
Baisa ka pamsuri.
All right,
Isko bera yok bija na baisa ka kumadzir.
Okay. I wonder why I didn't see it. Could it be the shakiness? Could it be? I think I saw it in the back.
Is this
Yeah,
it?
over there. Yeah. But part of the problem is if you're gonna show a video like this and not use the circle, which looks like just a person wearing.
Yeah, just a person with like a white
Yeah.
cloak.
But like way in the like the shade or the shadow.
Yeah, standing
How
behind the
could
vehicle.
we make any of this out if there's the watermark on there, this thing that pops open like and subscribe, it steals my attention. I should be looking for an angel, you know. Just very
And the only clue you have as to where it's going to be is that the watermark is strangely really far over to the right. So it's like, okay, so maybe
Right.
they're wanting you to look over here. But it's just somebody standing behind this vehicle in a cloak.
That's it.
Nothing supernatural looking about it. I could have
The
one.
right button was the angel. The person walking, yeah.
I have one more to do. Okay, this one's I saved this one for last because this one is the one I find the most interesting out of all what
Okay.
we've done tonight. It's not a video though. You'll see what
Imagine
I mean in
getting
just a sec.
caught walking through a parking lot and getting put on YouTube as an angel.
You're
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, I'm an angel. I'm an
Right?
angel,
That's
baby.
it. That's it.
All right, here we go.
What do we got?
All right, let's see.
Caught singing. Does it sound like tongues?
When I listen to this tape, I couldn't believe it. And every time I listen to it, I still can't believe it. But I go entirely by the integrity of this good friend of mine who knows the people that recorded this.
And she's going to give us a little bit of a preamble, so I'm just going to let her talk.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for him and his reputation, I would say something is really weird about this tape. What happened was, as related to me by Dr. Schneider from Kansas City, a group of 7 people in Kansas City got together for choir practice. Have you heard this? Anybody heard this? Okay, a few people have. Everywhere I go around the country, 1 or 2 people have heard it, or have heard about it. But this is the tape of it. 7 people got together for choir practice in a church in Kansas City, and they were checking the sound equipment and their harmony. And they sang the chorus, Hallelujah, through. They paused, and then they sang it through again. That was it, a cappella, no instrument. And when they started playing it back, they thought something went wrong with the system until they realized that there were thousands of voices singing with them. There was a harp, bass guitar, trumpets, all sorts of things in there. And then during the time that they had paused...
Okay, before they even play it, I'm going to say that I don't believe for a sec... I got myself muted, hold on. Before I even play it, I'm going to say I don't believe for a second that there's no instruments here. I do believe that there absolutely has to be a piano, but maybe we'll see.
There's a solo, which none of them sang. To complicate matters, one of the men that was singing with them a few months later went down to Haiti on a missions trip. And when he was down there, the group, the church they were ministering at, the song leader was leading them in the Hallelujah chorus. And during the middle of it, he started singing this chorus, or the verse that's found on this tape. And he went up to the song director afterwards, who didn't speak any English, and asked him where he got the words to that verse that he sang. And he said, I didn't sing a verse. How can you explain it? You can't.
I can.
But I have a friend in
I'm not even going to be
Texas. I'll be with him next week, and he's a music professor. And he
What's that?
I can't. I'm not even going to be funny with this one. I can't explain, because when they said that they were at a church in Haiti and they were singing, and then suddenly they got a playback. It wasn't in English, and then it was a bunch of like another verse to it, or it sounded like a verse. So for some of us that are like indigenous people that were invaded by Catholicism, we're like really, really into it. And so if any of my aunties or anybody from where we're from, if we heard a church song or something, we would just jump into it. We wouldn't have to be in the church. We would just be in there. So I could easily imagine people that are walking around outside the church that maybe heard the music and they're like starting to sing. This is something that I don't think happens in a lot of cultures. I'm not even going to say Western culture, because this would never happen in Korea either. But in some cultures, we're just like really singy, dancey people. Even with my students and stuff, I get really like, yeah, let's all the time. And some of us are just like that, just culturally. So this idea that, yeah, they got a foreigner coming in, leading people in worship in English, and then a bunch of local people join in from outside being loud because that's what we like to do. Yeah, I think that's probably what they picked up, if they picked anything up at all. Because obviously, I mean, I haven't heard this,
Yeah.
But that's immediately, I'm like, yeah, there's just people outside probably singing it in French. It's the same thing.
Yep.
That's my guess. Yeah.
Let's see.
Listen to this tape, and he said, Claude, there are voices on there that are higher than the human vocal range can go, and they are sustained for a longer time.
And just to be clear, you can do that to a human voice by stretching a tape too. I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking like Mariah Carey has entered the chat. Like the whistle notes, I guess they're called.
Time than what the human voice can sustain one note with that much clarity. And so there's no other explanation for it except supernatural.
I think it sounds like there's a lot of
reverb.
Yeah, reverb or even some wind or something, like, or somebody's moving in the background, so it makes it sound
I,
like a bigger sound.
I know she said there's no instruments, but there's damn sure a piano there. I've no doubt I'm hearing a piano, and
Yeah, that was
I'd like
the
to
other
see it.
thing.
I'd like to see it the church where there's a choir that sings that nobody's sitting there at the piano while they're singing.
I think what I understood is that they were singing a thing. They had instruments, but they were trying to do like an a cappella version without instruments, and then they went to play it back. And what I'm thinking is, what if they, especially because this does sound older, maybe they rewound the tape a little bit too far, because I'm
Recorded
assuming it's
over
like on a
something else.
physical tape. Yeah. And so maybe they rewound it too far. Maybe they forgot to press record and they rewound it for the right amount of time, but they picked up themselves singing. They were just replaying a recording where they were singing the same thing with the piano, and they accidentally forgot to record themselves with the acapella. And then now they played it back to hear the acapella, and they hear a piano. Oh my God.
You did hear the piano though, right? You are hearing.
No, there's a piano, because they're claiming that they were.
I don't hear any of the other
version. Yeah, I didn't hear the guitar. I didn't hear like a full worship team.
There's still a couple more minutes to it, so we'll see if it.
Nothing about this would make me like, if I wasn't prompted at all, nothing would make me think, wow, this is a huge choir. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like maybe 12 to 20 people, maybe.
Yeah, it sounds like a regular choir. It sounds like poor audio quality, making it sound like it could sound more, like when you're a little kid and like you're pretending that people are cheering for you in your imagined scenario, and you go to like pretend it's like the crowd cheering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that kind of vibe from it, where it's got that airy, crunchy quality that could be interpreted as a bunch more voices if you did it that way. Like if you put this over an old like cartoon or something and showed lots of people singing, I could believe that in a cartoon, even though you know that the singers to make the audio file were not that many. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could have people sing it and double it over. And
yeah, I was really expecting something more like what I was talking about. Like you hear some people singing in the background, like being really cool and having their own vibe to it. But no, this is just some people hanging out.
It sounds like if there are other people that's recording on here, it's almost like they were playing a recording of themselves and singing with it. Maybe I could see that, but it doesn't sound like yeah. We'll finish it up. Here's the solo. Yeah, like the tape stretched a little bit.
Yeah, it's like when my brother and I were trying to do the backmasking almost, and you're trying to figure out how to do it fast enough to get it, and you're not quite there, or like you slow it down and you turn off the record like motor, but you try to spin it yourself and you're not quite sped up,
Yeah,
to
where it sounds really
normal speed. It sounds like that. I don't know if there's, but your cassette player did that. Remember when it was like your Walkman was losing batteries, and like your battery power would go, and then it would slow down a little. That's what I'm getting.
Sometimes it would slow down. It would play slow for a long, long time too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like you're like, okay, we're doing this. This was our version of like a remix,
Yeah, I remember doing that with because I had oh my gosh, it was No Doubt cassette.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't speak. I know what you're. That's it.
It was
We figured
Tragic
it out.
Kingdom.
I mean, Miraculous Angel music.
Yeah. I want to at least let the solo guy finish because it sounds like he's like a crooner.
Yeah. I'm having trouble at this part because I'm reading what the text says, but I'm having trouble hearing it. It does sound backmasked.
Well, I don't think that this to me this seems like they're doing the like EVP thing where you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you're hearing something. It's warbly. It doesn't sound quite right, and the text could be something else. It doesn't really match up to what you actually are hearing. Yeah, like the EVP. I mean, my friend caught an EVP, and we like exercised the house because of it. But you know, that's the thing is that she told me what she thought it said, and we were prompted by the question to hear a certain type of answer. But as it is by itself, it sounds just kind of like almost a cough or like a scuffle or something. But she had asked it. She felt really uncomfortable in her new house, and so she was asking the spirit. We were very into ghost hunters and stuff. She was asking the ghost, "What's your name? Are you here? Do you not want us here?" And then after that is that scuffle. So it sounded like it said, "Get out now." That's what it sounded like. Yeah, and so she sent it to me. Chills and stuff, of course, and we did our little magic thing, but that's, you know, looking back, it's a kind of like some kind of sound that could have been, you know, some animal in the back. It was at midnight, so some, you know, raccoons or something could have been in the back and knocked something over. It's never the good quality. That's something that somebody said. It's never like Britney Spears in the music studio and then they pick up a good EVP. It's always like the trash, terrible, you bought it at the dollar store thing, and it comes through kind of crunchy. Nobody heard it while it was happening. It really just reminds me of, I think, aren't they called artifacts? Isn't that what they're called?
Audio artifacts.
Yeah. Like when you scan something and it ends up with like a blip on it, you know, it's just like it wasn't there. You didn't put it there, but it's there now. So what can you do?
I'm self-taught about reading waveforms, but I've kind of learned how to pick up where things are clipped in and stuff.
Oh, okay.
What's actually a sound and what's an artifact and things like that.
Oh, interesting. Do you have any like fast tips for anybody who is interested in hearing EVPs to kind of differentiate what that oh yeah, once you hear this type of thing, that's totally an artifact?
I don't know if there's anything that could be fast, like be considered fast tips on that. Most of it is electrical interference. Different electrical appliances running in a room or things are running not even in the room you're in, just you're picking up any kind of frequency interference is going to cause that. Yeah.
So that's why like there could be something that, because I'm not like a radio wave receiver, I'm not going to hear radio waves going through, but something that could accidentally clip or pick up a clip of something that's
or
like
there's just what it is there's a EMP wave of something else is putting off, usually something with like a compressor engine that causes it's not a big wave, not like anything dangerous to a human or anything, but when it comes to putting audio out, and sometimes you can notice this, like if you put people put like a radio on top of the refrigerator, when the compressor kicks on, it'll get staticky because that it's interfering with the signal.
Is that okay? Because most people can't hear it. There's a handful of people that can hear it that I've met. is that the sound when you turn on, like it sounds like the air is crackling. It's like
Like when you
electricity.
first
It's like an
turn
electricity
on.
sound. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons I tell the students this. You have to turn off your stuff, because it's not just that I hear your phone. There's a physical presence to, and like the students are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
And I'm
like
like, can't you guys feel the electricity? Like you can feel it.
yeah, it's not
Can't
even a
you guys
sound.
feel it?
So there'll be the crackling,
Yeah,
but there's
it's
like a
it's
change in the static
yeah,
wavelength and the like the
yeah.
hairs
It's
inside
not a
your ear.
sound. It's like an impression, and that's the and the students, almost all of them. I think I've met one student that has ever, because we talk about it sometimes, because they have no idea what I'm talking about. Because I'm like,
It's
well,
like
you have to
I
turn
can
on.
walk into a completely quiet room and know if there's a TV on in that room, even if it's like black screen.
Yeah,
not
yeah. Or
me.
we have this big monitor that projects my computer screen so the students can see it, and you have to turn it on, and it takes like 8 seconds for it to turn on. So you press it and nothing happens, and then the students are. So when I ask a student, "Can you turn it on?" One student, they'll turn it and nothing happens, so they ask about it. But sometimes I can tell them, no, you didn't press the right button. And they say, how do you know? I'm like, because you can't hear the electricity. And the student's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I know, like, because this is something we did as kids,
I
like
know
in
what you're
in
talking
our
about.
culture, like you would do the thing, and like you would ask, like you'd have your cousin or something close their eyes and then say, okay, when do you sense my finger? Because you could sense it. You know what I mean? Not the heat, but like it like tickles your.
What I feel like is like it's the hair inside, the little hairs inside my ears.
Yeah, and it like tickles it, right? Like you can sense it, and no, like people are like, "What are you talking about?" Like I can't. We've done. It's not just me. This isn't like a weird memory that doesn't exist.
I think it's just electroreception, right? I think it's
That's
just.
what I figure. I mean, don't we? You know, other animals have much greater sense than us. You know,
Yeah,
but
tarantulas actually. When one of my big tarantulas died. I did an example. It showed I used a pair of tongs like this and showed how you could wave it over there, and the tarantula's seat of the hair would go towards
really cool.
it.
Yeah. Okay. That's because that's what I wonder. Like if other, if we have a sense of smell and other animals have a better sense of smell, well, maybe we don't have like the super cool electromagnetic sense that a hammerhead shark has. But maybe shouldn't we have that sense? Like because when somebody walks into the room versus when your cat walks into the room, because the sense is bigger or smaller, like you feel it, even though you don't hear it, you feel that somebody walked into the room.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be changes in, there's going to be a lot of tactile changes, right? Like changes in air pressure and stuff. But I know what you're talking about with the presence of someone else's electrical forces too, though. Electronic devices.
Maybe some people are more sensitive to it because you mentioned the air pressure, and for people that have migraines, because that's how I found out about it, or for people that have like arthritis types of conditions, or if you broke a bone previously and it rehealed, that change in air pressure that happens before it rains, for example, that causes pain. It causes that minor swelling, but because your nerves are overly sensitive to it, it causes pain for you, but most people don't feel it because they're not as overly sensitive to it because they don't have chronic issues. So I wonder maybe that's why, like it's always those elderly people who, I can hear the rain, the storm is coming, my knee is hurting, and people are like, what are you talking about?
I'm one of those people.
I'm one of those people too. That's the thing. Like so I wonder.
It's gonna snow. I can tell with my elbows.
Yeah, I can feel my bones are aching in a certain way, right? Or I got like a really weird congested but not congested feel. It's like a pre-migraine. So it feels like my head is just filling with air, and then it rains and it goes away. So I wonder if that has anything to do, because like I'm thinking, you think of those people that were, the outcasts, the witches, the spellcasters, the medicine women, those kinds of things, and they were always like rickety or disabled or something. They couldn't do like a typical job.
Mm-hmm.
They're like people that are like chronically ill. I wonder. I don't know. I wish I could test it, because I do know that I mess up electronics a lot. I'm that person. It's ridiculous. I can even just tell people, like, there was I had to help a teacher with her on her computer, and the internet wasn't working at all. The Wi-Fi just died, and she's like, I don't get it. I was just using it, and it was totally working all day. I said, oh, watch. And I got up and I said, log in, and she's like, oh, it works now. I'm like, yeah. So like, there's just something. And the more I talk about it, I know it sounds ridiculous, and that's why I really want to try to figure out how to scientifically test it. Because I'll do stuff like, we had to get what's it called, the distance thermometer, the no touch thermometer. You know what I'm talking about? During COVID, like, it's like a thermometer gun. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, to
the
check
temperature. Yeah, it's to check your temperature, right? So we had to do that, and every morning the temperature, they had the same 2 temperature checkers every morning. Didn't matter which one the guy used, it always wouldn't work for me. He had to do it 2 or 3 times. So we just made he didn't believe me, and I said, all right, wait. So I put my hand next to it, and you could just feel there's something wrong with it, even though I'm not touching it. And I said, well, it's not going to work. And so he did it again, and he's like, it doesn't work. I said, all right, watch. So I put my hand next to it, and it's like trying to smooth out the electricity. That's all I can think of how to describe it. And I said, all right, try it again. And it works. And he's like, I didn't believe you until just then. And I know it sounds totally just nuts. It's just, I thought this would be a good time to talk about it, because this is like the angel stuff that nobody believes. But when I figure out how to make it, like,
I want to come up with some experiments for it.
Yeah, when we figure out how to do it, I really want to, because I think just like you can sense your since you can train your tongue to taste different things, if this is a sense, then you should be able to train it in the similar way, right? That's my thought. So I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if any experiment's been done by that, because there's simple stuff you could do. You could put like an electronic device in a box, and have one with the device turned on and one with it turned off, and you can put your hand in there and not be able to see and tell if the.
Yeah, there were times too, if I'm in way too much pain, or I'm like really upset, like I'm thinking about my sister, I'm just very upset, and I'm walking to or from home. There's this path I take that has these what are they called? Street lights. And as I walk past them, they either turn on or turn off, depending on if they're already on or off, as I walk past them. Not all at once, like, oh, they're turning on. It seems like they malfunction as I walk past them. But I can't replicate it. It just happens. And that's very frustrating for me, because that'd be pretty badass. You'd be like,
yeah, if you can learn to control that.
I'm too lazy. Lights on, you know?
Yeah. You can learn to control that. You go up to an ATM and be like, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I can do is bust stuff. That's it. You know, like if I'm using somebody's phone or something, the battery drains pretty fast. A lot of electronics just fuck up. But yeah, if somebody's like using like a computer and there's something wrong with it, you can feel it because the electricity thumps a certain way. And I'll ask my students, like, oh, what's wrong with your computer? Like, oh, it's got, like, how did you know? Like, because you can feel there's something wrong. How do you not feel that? I don't know. Anybody else? I'm just curious, because anybody else have this issue?
There is actually so I don't want to lump you in with like a woo movement, but there is the electrical impacted people that think that they're linked with the 5G people and all those.
I've heard of that.
Electrosensitives.
Yep, and then they claim they have to move away or something. But I do wonder, are they people that have chronic pain and it is aggravated by certain things only when they're experiencing those pain? Like when they agree, because I know I've seen those, I'm sure we've probably watched the same kinds of documentaries where they've had the interviewer hide a phone on them, and the person was whatever, they were fine. But they were also fine. They were feeling okay to have this interaction. And so like a different way to describe it would be, I really like the smell of lavender. I have 5 cats. Of course, there's some cat poo-poo smells that happen, especially when the cat has freshly poo-pooed, right? This is, not a wonderful smell, but it is what it is. You scoop it at the end. But when I have a migraine, it's like I'm vomiting. It's such a bad, offensive smell that it causes me physical reactions. My cat's also putting her butthole in my face. Thanks, Coconut.
She has a gorgeous tail.
I wonder if it's like that. Yeah, she's got a really... Come on, Foof. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Kitty. Kitties are always the win on the Hive. Hey, kitty.
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's that? Who's that? You? That's it. This is Ms. Lemon's origin story. Yeah, but what kind of superhero is that?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, what is it? Is that like an electrical version of the Hulk in like a useless way? Yeah. Like, oh, I'm so angry. One street light turns off.
Yeah.
You've been thwarted, titans of or captains of industry. Like,
You'd be like, what was once a bug is now a feature.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it feels. But again, what would be the benefit to that other than, wow, that's cool? What's the benefit to smell?
Short out security systems for your strike force. There you go.
That's it. Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, she needs love, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're about to wrap up anyway.
We're about to wrap up, Pocos.
You got anything you want to show coming up?
No, I'm going to be doing a video with bugs. That's one I'm going to be doing where I'm eating bugs. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Does that offend you, by the way?
No, I am a proponent of insect protein. I am absolutely in favor. I think insect protein is the meat of the future.
It's the future. It's the future. Mm-hmm. I keep telling my students. And then there's going to be one where I talk about missed opportunities, because I've met a lot of former Christians and some former Muslims that have talked about, what could have been if I was raised in this other way, like if I didn't have this religious background. So I wanted to kind of make a video about that, which just kind of talks about, basically any way that we're raised, we're going to be missing something. So take advantage of what you got, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's the idea. Black lightning. Oh, okay. I think I've heard of that.
All right. Well, as for me, I am going to plan on doing the bug drive sometime. I don't know if I'm going to do it with the Live from the Hive or not, but somehow I'm going to raise a little bit of funds to get some new bugs for the Hive, because we need new ones. We don't have very many, and I'm finally kind of settled into my new apartment, so I can get some stuff, and it's finally starting to warm up a little bit so I can have them shipped. So, yeah.
What's on the list?
I need to get some mantises. I do want to get some millipedes. I love millipedes.
Oh.
Yeah, but there's always a variety of choices, and right now, one of my favorite shops, Bugs in Cyberspace, has a whole bunch of diving beetle species, and I got an aquatic biome here. It's empty that my fiddler crab recently died. So, yeah. So
for those diving bugs, there was somebody in the barracks that had this fish tank, but they put too many fish in there. Like they had mollies, and one of them had like a bajillion babies, and they died. And then this like beetle showed up and cleared up the water somehow, and these snails somehow showed up, I guess. But the beetle always had a little like bubble on its butt. And we called it his ass diamond, because we're mature adults with access to rifles, so we would just call it his little ass diamond, and that's what it looked like. Is that like was it?
So
what was that about?
Arthropods don't breathe through the part of their body that like what tetrapods do. They don't breathe through their mouth, don't breathe through their face. Their head doesn't have any respiratory system at all. Attached to it. It's all through all their breathing is going to be through their abdomen. With arthropods, they either have book lungs or spiracles. Insects have spiracles, including beetles, and spiracles can be anywhere down the length of the abdomen. But for aquatic insects, they generally are either on the very end, or
Yeah, it
they
was always
are
on
on,
the tip.
or they're on a little, even on a little pipette that sticks off the end of them on some diving beetles.
Okay.
But they keep a little air bubble on top of it, and
Yeah.
that's how they breathe. It's like keeping a little bubble
It's
of.
like their little scuba gear.
There's
Oh
a
my
spider,
gosh.
called a diving bell spider, that wraps a bubble completely around its abdomen, so it looks like a spider with with an abdomen with a force field around it.
That I would love, like, when you are able to get some of these bugs, to see like just an aquatic bug, because I mean they're
Yes.
so cool, like how they walk on water, or that they with the manipulating the oxygen bubbles and stuff. I think those are so cool. Those are so cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
we really like dug this beetle. We just left him alone. He did his thing, and we're just happy to have him. What do they eat? Just algae, or?
you can put like with the diving beetles, you can just drop like a dead cricket in there, a dead moth
Okay.
from your windowsill, dump the contents of your light fixture cover.
Okay.
They
Do they just like, can they walk around out? I mean, maybe a stupid question, but do they only need to exist near a water source, or
they can leave the water. They do
are they
need
just
they
better
do
in the
need the
water?
water. Yeah, they need the water, but they can leave the water if they want to go propagate a new environment.
Okay, so they can travel to another water source.
Some
But
beetles
otherwise,
some of them can even fly, but
huh?
giant water bugs are really good at flying. They're not beetles though.
the
They have a
only-
long
ahead.
pipette on the end of their abdomen to let them breathe. You know.
Yeah, I've seen them, and I've eaten one. So
You ate one, really?
I did. It was I think it was old. It wasn't the best tasting. So I would like to have a freshwater beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have
Right.
eaten one. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm so glad I had a day off. So happy Independence Movement Day, you guys. Korea.
Happy Independence Movement from South Korea. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's March 1st every year. So.
Yeah. Well, I thank everybody out there in the live chat for sticking with us. We've had, about 18 so people the whole time. So
good.
Yeah, we've had a pretty steady audience. Thank you for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed our exploration of angels, whether it was the
I hope you learned
angelic.
what not to do for your presentations.
Yeah, that 15 angel list was something else. All right. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.